It's time for high school football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. The best Stark County football is heard right here all season long. Whether you're in a car, at home, or on the go, the action is live on Q92 and streaming on the Q92 Facebook page, X, and our YouTube channel. Now, let's take you live to the stadium and our broadcast team for tonight's kickoff on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Here they go! Touchdown!
Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football on Q92 Radiosports.com and the Q92 YouTube channel. And tonight we've got booth cams set up once again at Q92 Radio Canton on TikTok. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are live at Bob Cummings Field in Plain Township. Glenoak High School for the matchup between the 4-3, 2-1 in the Federal League Jackson Polar Bears and the 1-6, 0-4 Glenoak Golden Eagles. I am Ryan Keller. My broadcast partner is working his way up. He is Antonio Hall, and we appreciate you guys joining us tonight for high school football. An interesting matchup between teams that are kind of going on a different trajectory. Jackson finally starting to get a roll on things. Big question mark tonight at the quarterback position for them. We'll see who is going to start. Is it going to be senior Lucas Eckerman, who missed last week with a concussion? Or is it going to be Carter Mulliman, the junior, who had a huge game last week in the big win for Jackson, knocking off the undefeated Lake Blue Streak? So we got a lot to get to tonight. We are going to, before I forget, we've got 7 games going on tonight on the Q92 Sports Network. That's right. You heard me. 7 games. So we're going to preview. We're going to go live to some of the stadiums around the area with our games this week on the Q92 Score 7. We're going to head over to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Lake and McKinley. We have Alliance at West Branch. That's on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN. Tuslaw at Northwest, Minerva at Marlington, Perry at Hoover, and Louisville at Green. All that and more coming up right here on Q92 Radiosports.com. We're going to step away and take a break. More action. It's a countdown to kickoff right here on high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
North 6 locations: Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion, Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan on AM.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92Radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92Radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field in Plain Township as we get ready for the Federal League matchup, big Federal League matchup. And a lot of playoff implications in a lot of these games, especially once you get down week 8, 9, and 10. The computer points really start to add up. We're going to get to some of that coming up here shortly, too. I got all the computer rankings leading up in tonight's game, where everyone's at. Division I, Region 1, and where Glenoak plays and Jackson plays. It's a little weird. Top 12 teams make it into the playoffs. Glenoak's currently at 16. But if they were to beat Jackson tonight, that would put them probably really close to that last playoff spot.
Be a lot of points. A lot of points if Glenoak can pull this home win off. We'll see, but
yeah, you never know.
Tonight.
They weren't supposed to beat Jackson 2 years ago, and they beat them 2 years ago. It's homecoming night here tonight.
Yep.
So there's a lot that can happen, and I'm looking forward to this game. I hope we get a good one. I know Glenoak's kind of riding the struggle bus a little bit throughout this season, but hey, you play the games, and if it was all on paper, then you wouldn't need to play. If you just look at it and be like, hey, this ain't nothing.
Right. But there's always at least one. There's always at least one Federal League game in the season where you're like, wow, I did not see that coming. And tonight could be the night.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Happened to you.
Happened to me. Happened to me.
Against this Glenoak team.
Not this Glenoak team,
but still.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right,
exactly.
Let's get into some. I didn't mean to throw you.
No, I mean.
All right, let's get into some of these other games going on in the area. First, we're going to send it to Green, where the Louisville Leopards go to take on the Green Bulldogs. Let's check in with Jay Wilhelm.
Good evening, everyone. We are on to Week 8 of this Ohio high school football season on the Q92 Sports Network, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group. I'm Jay Wilhelm. With a 5-2 record. They have lost 2 of their last 3 ball games, but both of those losses have come to very, very good football teams, and the North Canton Hoover Vikings in Week 5 and the undefeated Canfield Cardinals last week in front of their home crowd. The Leopards will look to get back into the win column here tonight against a very talented Green team. The Green Bulldogs sit at 2-5, 1-3 in conference play. But let me tell you, folks, this team is a lot better than their record shows. 4 of those 5 losses were by 7 points or less. Last week was their breakout game when they dominated Federal League foe, the Glenoak Golden Eagles, by a final score of 51-20. And to radiosports.com. As kickoff is currently scheduled for 7 p.m. Live from Memorial Stadium in Green, I'm Jay Wilhelm with the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Jay. Next, we're going to send it to Hoover. Matt Corrali has the call. A big game in the Federal League between Perry and Hoover. Let's check in with Matt.
At the hands of the McKinley Bulldogs, 21-20 last week, and come into this one tied for second with Lake and Jackson in the Fed. It was a tight game for 4 quarters, but Hoover left the first half of the game due to a concussion, and quarterback John Collins re-aggravated that ankle that forced him out of the Louisville matchup in Week 5. Depending on those two status, Hoover will rely heavily on junior running back Michael Lamelin, who had 11 carries for 53 yards and 4 catches for 45 yards last week. They'll look to stay at the top of the league standings as they'll take on the Perry Panthers, who are tied for 5th with Green. Federal League title alive, they must protect the football. Hoover forced 2 turnovers in the last 3 minutes against McKinley, and with Perry converting just 8. You can join Robert Coleman and I for a fun one. From Memorial Stadium in North Canton, Matt Corrali, the Q92 Sports Network.
Thanks, Matt. Next, we are going to send this one to Marlington. Christian Bigglesworth has a call between the Minerva Lions and the Marlington Dukes in a big-time EBC matchup. Let's check in with Christian.
Coming to you live from Marlington High School, where tonight we have an EBC matchup for you as the Minerva Lions are set to take on the Marlington Dukes. The Minerva Lions are enjoying one of their best football seasons in recent memory, at one point riding a 4-game winning streak. However, since EBC play began, the Lions are 0-2 and still searching for that first conference win of 2024. Damage this season on the ground, running the ball 361 times this season for over 2,300 yards so far. And they'll be led by their freshman quarterback, Cannon Kirkpatrick, and senior running back, Nathaniel Linkus. The Marlington are also led by a freshman quarterback, Tyler Walder, who's completed 84 of 140 attempts this season for over 1,100 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. However, he's also thrown 8 interceptions this season and has also rushed for over 100 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. 2 young teams, 2 freshman quarterbacks, but only one can get their first EBC victory of the season tonight. It's Minerva and Marlington, and you can hear it right here on the Q92 Sports Network.
This one, talk a little bit about tonight's matchup. Coach Antonio Hall had a chance to talk to both Jay Rohr, the head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears, and to Coach Scott Garcia of the Glenoak Golden Eagles. We'll get to hear both of those conversations, and then if we have time during the pregame, we'll talk a little bit about the playoff matchups. If not, we'll make sure to get that during halftime. So countdown to kickoff here at Bob Cummings Stadium in Plain Township. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Ehrenholt with over $30 million in volume sold in 2024, you can feel confident knowing that you're in the best of hands. Call Joanna at 330-309-2343 or Cindy Ehrenholt at 330-268-5060.
Ohio's leaders with 6 locations: Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com.
Home to Radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92Radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field in Plain Township as we get ready for the matchup between the Jackson Polar Bears and the Glenoak Golden Eagles. Federal League action as we get close to the end of the season, Week 8. It's crazy to think that we're already in Week 8. We've got more games to get to here tonight as well. First, we're going to send it to Northwest, the matchup between the Massillon-Tuslaw Mustangs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Mustangs and the Northwest Indians. Let's check in with Mike Dixon.
Live from Canal Fulton at Northwest High School, Week 8 kicks off the OHSAA football season. Tonight we have a Pac-7 matchup of Tuslaw Mustangs against the Northwest Indians. Tuslaw Mustangs come into Week 8 sitting at 3-4 on the season and 0-3 in the Pac-7. The Mustangs snapped a 3-game losing streak last week by taking down undefeated Toronto on the road 33-12. Tuslaw's offensive production this season has come from QB Ethan Howler has 504 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 470 rushing yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns. Running back Nathan Eberhardt has 490 rushing yards, and wide receiver Parker Reinhardt has 18 receptions, 194 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Northwest Indians are 4-2 overall and 3-0 in the Pac-7, and coming off a Week 7 victory over Orville 28-14 at home. QB Brandon Venables had 102 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 INT. Really sparking the offense for Northwest last week was a 3 running back tandem led by Joey Medore, who had 114 yards and 1 touchdown. Kellen Renford had 85 yards and 1 touchdown, and Jacob Garber had 45 yards. Logan Allman led the team in receiving with 102 yards on 6 catches and a touchdown. But the big play that sparked Northwest was a pick 6 by Devin Simon returned 70 yards to get Northwest rolling in on the board. The Pac-7 matchup is set to kick off. Myself, Mike Dixon, and Ryan Rowland will bring you all the action tonight from Northwest Ohio. For Q92 Sports Network presented by Charchon Chevrolet.
And back here at Bob Cummings Field as we get ready for the Jackson Polar Bears and the Glenoak Golden Eagles. We're going to next send it to Beloit, the Alliance Aviators, the West Branch Warriors, basically the EBC championship tonight on our sister station AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Berkwin has the call. Let's check in with Sam from West Branch.
Well, one of the most highly anticipated games in the high school football scene tonight. Coming up from Clinton Heacock Stadium in Beloit tonight, the host West Branch Warriors will welcome in the Alliance Aviators. Kickoff at 7 o'clock tonight, coming up on AM 1310 WDPN. Myself, Sam Berkwin, and Caleb Norick with the call. Both teams passed their test a week ago. Alliance got by a scrappy Carrollton team, while West Branch took care of Marlington. The Aviators come in with a record of 6-1, 2-0 in the ABC. Likewise, West Branch 6-1, perfect in the Eastern Buckeye at 2-0. The scoreboard operator might go crazy tonight. There could be that many points on the board between these two high-powered, explosive offensive teams. Let's look at Alliance. Look no further than J.R. Jackson. 1,757 yards in the air. 16 touchdowns. He's run for almost 500 yards on the season. Meanwhile, Jeremiah Thomas, very, very good player. 43 catches this year, almost 700 yards, and it's the quarterback, Grady Hurst, getting the job done. Over 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns, and oh, by the way, only 1 interception. The points are going to be flying. There is talent all over the field. Tremendous coaching. It's going to be a packed house. The weather is great. You couldn't ask for much more in Week 8 of the high school football season. Don't miss a play. 6-1 Alliance, 6-1 West Branch coming up tonight. Kickoff at 7 on AM 1310 WDPN. I'm Sam Berkwin.
Thank you, Sammy. All right, finally, our game of the week on Q92, another big-time Federal League matchup. two schools who are 6-1. The Lake Blue Streaks suffering their first loss of the season last week, going to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium to take on the 6-1 McKinley Bulldogs. McKinley undefeated in the Federal League. Lake with that one loss suffered last week to this Jackson Polar Bear team we're going to see tonight. Clint Scroggs, Brian Beatty, and Ryan Bevere have the call. Let's check in with Clint from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium.
Lake visits McKinley in a battle for the lead in the Federal League. The Blue Streaks suffered their first loss 40-37 to Jackson in a game which saw them give up 303 yards passing to junior quarterback Carter Mulliman and 151 yards rushing to running back Corey Jacobs. Lake quarterback Alex Quire threw for 2 scores and 270 yards. Chase Fuller caught 5 balls for 114 and both touchdowns. He also ran for a score. Davis Matson ran for 2 touchdowns. Quire has thrown for 1,254 yards and 12 scores, while Matson has run for 565 and 6 TDs. McKinley moved to 6-1 as they sweated out a 21-20 win over Hoover, in which the Vikings missed what would have been the tying extra point. The Bulldogs turned over the ball twice in the last 2 minutes, but held Hoover on downs the second time to secure the victory. The Federal League's leading rusher is sophomore Kylan West, with his 844 yards and 7 touchdowns. He averages 6.5 yards a carry. He had 114 yards and a touchdown last week. Quarterback Trent Hayden threw for 149 yards and a score. Darius Hill ran back a punt, 67 yards for a touchdown. McKinley can clinch at least a share of their 4th straight Federal League title with a win. Lake, Hoover, and Jackson are all a game behind. The Bulldogs have beaten the Blue Streaks 10 straight times and lead the all-time series 17-4. Lots on the line at Tom Benson Stadium as McKinley hosts Lake. I'm Clint Scroggs for the Q92 Sports Network.
All right, thank you, Clint. All right, let's talk a little bit about tonight's matchup between Jackson and Glenoak. Once again, I'm Ryan Keller. This is Antonio Hall. Thank you for joining us tonight and listening on Q92radiosports.com, the Q92 YouTube channel, and for all of you joining us tonight live on TikTok with the booth cam. Is hashtag booth cam is what we're going to call it. All right, let's talk about tonight. Jackson coming into tonight's game, they've kind of got on a roll lately. Even with the issues, I don't want to say issues, but injuries they've had at the quarterback position. Lucas Eckerman, again, out tonight. The senior quarterback has missed probably the same amount of games as he's played this season, but Carter Mulliman stepping in, the junior. We've seen him a couple times this year. Last week, threw for over 300 yards. And help propel that Polar Bears to a huge win over the Lake Blue Streaks.
Yeah, there's really no drop-off when Mulliman is in the game. I call him Mullen Money for the reason because his accuracy to me is probably one of the best you'll see in Stark County this year, if not the best. Saw him in that first week of the season, very poised stepping into that starting role that night. Got the nod that afternoon he was going to be starting. And he looked like he's the 4-year starter out there. So he has great weapons around him. Cal's number 10 is number 10 in the county in receiving right now. He has Brandon Jacobs behind him at running back. He's number 3 in the county in scoring right now. He's figuring out his way at running back. So this Jackson offense is very high-powered, but it's led by that quarterback position.
Yeah, and in the Federal League, Jacobs leads the league in scoring, 84 points on the year. He's second in the Federal League in rushing behind, what's his name at McKinley? West.
Kylan the Kid West.
Yeah, Kylan the Kid West. And Jacobs had a huge week last week as well. He ran for over 100 yards for the 5th straight game. He had 198 total yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns. So it seems like Jackson, starting off at the beginning of the year, they were kind of a roller coaster. They couldn't figure out things, and now it seems like they have finally gotten a roll. It'll be exciting to see this offense kind of open up here tonight. Glenoak, on the other hand, rough start to the season, 1-6. They're 0-4 in the Federal League. They give up, I think, 31 points a game on the defensive side. And history shows that, Jackson's won 8 of the last 9 meetings with Glenoak. They lead the all-time series 29-20-1. Glenoak have lost the last 10 straight league games, and they're 2-15 over the last 2 seasons. But we talked about, any given day, anyone could win in the Federal League. And if they are going to do that tonight, Javion McClendon he's been the bright spot all season long for them. Mm-hmm. 610 yards. He's averaging 8.4 yards per carry, and they're going to need to get him going. Last week, he rushed for over 200 yards and had 2 touchdowns on 8 carries.
Right, and he is very explosive. he can get that second gear as soon as he gets to the second level. Very impressive. Him and Jacobs from Jackson remind me so much of each other, both looking to bounce it because they have that breakaway speed. If they hit the hole and then press it, they both can get a lot of yards tonight. Very excited to see the matchup with both of these great running backs.
And Glenoak's defense is led by R.J. Hairston, has 3 interceptions on the year. Sean Leahy has 2 interceptions. And if Jackson's going to come out and start throwing the football around tonight, it's going to be important to keep an eye on Hairston and Leahy because they're ball hawks out there.
They both need to have big games tonight. We know Jackson's air attack is the cornerstone of their offense. Glenoak's defense has shown they can stop the run. But the question mark is still, can they cover? Last week against Green, you saw that. Against McKinley a little bit. Now, they did have 3 interceptions, which was huge, but McKinley was able to still get some big plays in the pass game. So if Jackson's secondary could hold up tonight, that gives Glenoak a chance to stay in this ballgame.
And Coach Antonio Hall had a chance to speak to both Jay Rohr and Scott Garcia from Jackson and Glenoak. Let's check in with Jackson head coach Jay Rohr.
Antonio Hall on the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Visit fedora.football. Here with Jackson head coach Jay Rohr. Coach, huge win last week against an undefeated Lake team. What does a win like that do for your program moving into the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it obviously it solidifies what we're capable of doing. Our guys are like I said since day one, they're very resilient. You know, whether we're young or whether we've had a lot of injuries, they still have the capabilities of doing great things. And I think last week was very evident of what we're capable of doing.
Last week you played an undefeated team, get the win. This week you're playing a team that's 1-6. How do you get teenagers to approach a team that's 1-6 the same way they did against an undefeated football team?
Yeah, I just think that we haven't earned anything. We're still a 4-3 football team, and for us to be proud or happy about anything, I think would be an understatement. We have a lot of work to do, and again, I've been preaching this since I've been here. It's one practice at a time and one game at a time, and I know Scott Garcia as well, and his mentality is a never quit mentality, and these guys are going to play hard for 48 minutes, and we know it's going to be a dogfight again tonight.
Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Antonio.
And let's check in and hear the conversation with the head coach of the Glenoak Golden Eagles, Scott Garcia.
Antonio Hall on the Q92 pregame show. This coach's interview is being brought to you by Fedora Football. Fedora Football is the football world's lifestyle brand. Here with the dean of Stark County football coaches, Coach Scott Garcia. Coach, we both know that records don't always indicate progress of a team through the season. Talk to us about some areas of growth you've seen in your program so far this year.
Yeah, our offensive line has really come together. Those guys, there's 4 seniors and a junior up there, and they've really come together and done a great job. They're undersized, but their technique has been much better, and they've really grown through the season. Our quarterback play's been better. Javion McClendon has done a nice job the last few weeks, and he's got to get some more carries as we go. So yeah, we're work in progress. It's kind of a numbers game.
Yeah.
Anytime you play in this league, you know how it goes. Yep. The team with the most at the end is going to get it done. So right now we're struggling with that, but we're getting better.
Good deal, Coach. Coach, last time I saw you guys play, was very impressed with your defense. Tonight you take on a very good Jackson offense. What are you going to have to do defensively to slow down and stop that Jackson offense?
Yeah, number one, just like any week, got to stop the run because their running game's starting to come together. Mm-hmm. The backs, I think he's had 100 yards the last 5 games in a row. Mm-hmm. The quarterback, I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but both of them are pretty good. I'm not so sure the young guys, he's going to be a really good one down the road here.
Definitely.
So, but they both bring different things to the table, so we'll have to be ready for both of them.
Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks.
And that was head coach Scott Garcia of the Glenoak Golden Eagles as we get ready for action here at Bob Cummings Field in Plain Township at the beautiful campus here at Glenoak, just a hop and a skip down the road from my humble abode. And, both teams making their way out onto the field. Glenoak wearing white pants with very, very difficult jersey numbers to see. Black jerseys with, I guess, dark green numbers outlined in a light gold. Jackson, I like the Glenoak helmets, though, the white helmets.
Yes, that looks nice.
Those are sharp. So Glenoak's
the white
got
pants. That looks nice.
Yeah, and Jackson wearing all white tonight with the purple numbers and the gold helmets. Jackson will be kicking off to start the game. They will be moving from right to left. We are on the home side here at Glenoak. And Jackson, as I said, moving right to left, Glenoak left to right. And the Glenoak Golden Eagles are going to have the ball first as Cooper Misner lines up to kick off. Great kicker. He's got a big leg.
Over and under on a touchback. What do you say?
Over.
Over.
To the one, taken by Glenoak across the 10, and immediately stopped at the 15-yard line. Great coverage from Jackson's number 33, Logan Armstrong, the sophomore. That's where you cut your teeth, where if you're an underclassman, is right there on special teams.
Definitely, and that's a great job starting the game off. Jackson's kick coverage was down there almost immediately. As soon as the return man was able to start his descent, they were in his face. So great job, great start so far for this Jackson team.
So Glenoak makes their way out on to the field for their first possession of the ball game. Yeah, I am going to struggle with these numbers all night long.
Yeah, my friend, I thought about you when I saw him.
McClendon lined up to the right, and they're going to hand it off over to the left-hand side, gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1, and that is about it.
This Jackson defense continues to get better week in and week out. Last year, 42 seniors left this team. A lot of new starters out there on defense. You see them get better, especially that linebacker position, every single week. No difference right there.
And I believe that's Connor Wilson in at quarterback for the Golden Eagles. The 6'1", 167-pound sophomore now on the side. Is that a 12?
Your guess is way better than mine.
I believe it is. I believe that's Connor Wilson in at quarterback for Glenoak. As they break the huddle, McClendon to the right of Wilson in the shotgun. Turn, handoff. McClendon trying to bounce it outside. He gets nowhere. It was jammed up right in the middle of the line of scrimmage. He had nowhere to go. Good stop from Jackson.
That time, Glenoak runs a counter concept towards our sideline. Got no push on the kick-out block. Defensive end was able to stay stout at the line of scrimmage, squeeze everything back in, and those linebackers bottled them up, causing a 3rd and long for Glenoak.
So 3rd and 9 for Glenoak. Ball at the 16-yard line.
Man, that quarterback's going to get tired running back and forth to the sideline all night.
He's young. He can do it. Not like climbing up the stairs to the press box. McClendon to the right of Wilson in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Back to pass. He's got pressure coming up the middle. He's going to turn and roll out to the right-hand side. Gets to the numbers, throws it downfield, and it's picked off by Jackson. Did they say he did come down with it? That was number 35 for the Polar Bears, Grady Montgomery. And Jackson with great field, that was 45, Jared Kaiser. And Jackson with great field position. They will start off 1st and 10 at the Glenoak 33-yard line.
Jackson on the 3rd and long brought the middle linebacker and the safety on the blitz that time. Quarterback had to roll out to his right, was trying to create on the run, but threw it to the other jersey, and now Jackson has great field position for their first drive. That's right. You hear the coach coaching them up.
Boy, that sound really carries up here. So 1st and 10 for the Polar Bears. Carter Mulliman in at the quarterback position. He turns, hands it off to Jacobs. He bounces it out to the left-hand side, gets to the 30, and is brought down.
The ball carrier.
After a gain of 3.
Jackson,
go ahead.
Jackson starting off with a counter to the weak side of the field. Jacobs able to get a long 3 yards on that first carry. He tried to bounce it outside, but he tucked it up in at the last second, just get what he can get. Good first down run.
2nd and 7. Jackson goes empty, sends 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Mulliman by himself takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to continue to roll out to the far sideline and just lob this one out of bounds. I thought he could have run that if he made the decision a little bit sooner, but smart play by the young quarterback just to throw it away.
Yeah, that linebacker was tracking him. like you said, if he pulls and runs a little sooner, he probably gets about 5 or 6 yards. Good job by that Glenoak defense covering everybody up. Good job by that linebacker not allowing the quarterback to get outside of him, breaking secondary contain and getting a big play.
So 3rd and long for the Polar Bears. Mulliman takes the snap. He rolls out to the right. He's got pressure coming off his backside, and he throws complete, but it will be short of the line to gain for the first down. He will get to the 27-yard line. That was complete to Max Cowles and sets up a 4th down. Are they going to try a field goal here?
He can kick a country mile, so I would.
And they are. They're at the 34. It'll be a 44-yard field goal attempt.
Oh, walk in the park for him.
For the field goal.
By Cooper Misner.
He has a boot.
Miser. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it
huge win for Glenoak's defense right there, getting a interception territory, going 3 and out, causing the errant field goal. So no harm, no foul for the interception, but Glenoak has to get going sooner or later on offense.
It just didn't seem like Jackson was able to get into a rhythm. They ran with Jacobs and then, went to the air the next 2 plays, and that kind of threw them off a little bit. I think they need to establish that running game in order to open up the passing lanes.
Exactly. But Glenoak, again, great job on that first defensive series.
So 1st and 10 for Glenoak. They hand it off to McClendon over the right-hand side. Across the 20, 25, 30. He's got the edge and finally is forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line. A big run and a first down for Glenoak.
Glenoak coming out with a guard tackle counter. McClendon did a great job being patient, waiting for his blockers to develop. He saw the log blocked by the guard, got outside, and was able to get a big gain on first down to move the chains.
So Glenoak gets the first down of the game. They break the huddle. They turn, play action, throw it out over to the right flat. That is caught by Hairston at the 40.
Jay Hairston.
They're going to mark him out at the 42-yard line. So a nice gain of 6.7. We'll give it a 6. And it'll be 2nd and 4 for Glenoak.
We talked about R.J. Harrison in the pregame on defense, but he's also a very dynamic wide receiver as well. He's one of those guys he can catch in space and create. So if you give him a little bit of room, he can make you pay.
So 2nd and 4 now for the Golden Eagles. They turn, hand it off to McClendon over the right-hand side, following his blockers, getting to the 45, and is going to be stood up a yard short of the line to gain.
Coming back again with counter, the same play they ran to start this drive off with, getting positive yards. It looks like they're able to get a hat and a hat on that weak side of the field, so they're going to keep running it if Jackson's defense isn't going to make an adjustment.
It's been a good mix of run and pass for Glenoak, too, and it keeps Jackson's defense kind of guessing. I imagine you're going to see McClendon here.
No. And if you make him play both the run and, breaking the huddle quick.
And they're going to go big power, and that's a different running back in the ball game, and he's not going to get there. They ran a wildcat, trying to see the number.
Tom Wagner, the ball carrier.
That was Wagner with the carry, and he's going to be short, and he'll lose a yard. It'll be 4th and 2 now, and it looks like Glenoak's going to bring the punt unit on. Sean Leahy on to punt for Glenoak.
They ran a wildcat with 3 lead blockers and still couldn't get a yard for the first down. Great job by Jackson defense being stout, forcing this punt.
Cowles drops it, and it goes out of bounds. So lucky for him, he was so close to the sidelines, but that was a beautiful punt by Leahy.
Great hang time. Great hang time, allowing the coverage team to get down there. Maybe Cowles heard the feet and guys are getting close, but really have to secure that ball, especially if you're towards the middle of the field.
So it'll be Jackson Polar Bears football, 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Had some scores coming in to the scoreboard here.
Don't promise the event. Once you leave the stadium, you will not be allowed to re-enter.
Well, they let me back in.
Urge you to make sure you have everything sitting. And enjoy tonight's game.
There we go. Let's see here. Have to let that reload. Jackson now goes single back in the backfield. It's Jacobs. Mulliman back to pass. Throws this out into the flat. And that is hot
Almost pass complete
at
to number
the
1, Gino
18-yard
Szymanski.
line. Szymanski with the reception. And a
Georgia
good
the play
first play, picking
Gil-
up 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Just a basic hitch route. Try to get a rhythm for your quarterback. Throw some easy throws. Get your perimeter game going. Good pitch and catch. Now you're in the 2nd and manageable.
Mulliman takes the snap. He looks, throws this one out. That is caught across the 20, pushed out of bounds about the 22-23. Should be enough to pick up the first down. That's Norwich with the reception. And they do give him the first down. So Jackson, with their first down of the game, moving the chains.
Bubble screen to the 2 receiver side towards our sideline. That play, the point man, the point receiver got a great block on the defensive back, allowing the wide receiver to get enough for yard to gain.
And this time they hand it off to Jacobs. He gets that on the left-hand side and tries to bounce it all the way around the right end. He gets nowhere. He will lose 3 yards on the carry and sets up a 2nd and 13 now.
Glenoak has good team speed on this defense, and if you try to bounce it, especially to the opposite side of the field, good luck with that because their linebackers and safeties have really good speed and closing speed as well.
Yeah, and both these running backs immediately try to bounce it out instead of just picking up 2 or 3 going right through the hole.
Yep.
Mulliman with a hard count got most of the defensive line to jump into the neutral zone. No flag. They got back. Mulliman now takes the snap. He's back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's looking double coverage. Throws that one up, and it's almost picked off. It was a risky throw into 2 of the better defenders in the county back there guarding, and that falls incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 13 for the Polar Bears.
Tight coverage. You had a guy in front, guy behind. Try to squeeze it up there. Have your big receiver go make a play, but Glenoak wasn't going for it. Great coverage.
So 3rd and 13 at the 21-yard line. 6:11 left in the first quarter. Mulliman takes the snap. A little draw play to Jacobs. He gets through the first level, tries to bounce it out to the left-hand side. We'll get to the 28-yard line, but not enough for the first down, and will force the Polar Bears to punt with 5:56 left in the first quarter.
Glenoak looking like the first time we saw him this year when they played McKinley. Very stout on the run, covering up everything on the back end so far. Good job by this Glenoak defense. You have a very high-powered offense, and you've held them to 2 and outs to start the game.
So Jackson's punting unit out onto the field. They take the snap at the 15-yard line. Another good punt. This one will be taken at the... Oh, he fumbles the football, and it's Jackson's football! Jackson recovers the... wasn't even a muff. It was a clean strip. And now the Polar Bears take advantage of another Glenoak mistake, and they will have this drive starting 1st and 10 at the Glenoak 36.
The return man thought he had enough room to get a little wiggle in there and beat the gunner, but the gunner did a great job breaking down, getting his hand on the ball. On that one, the return man should have fair caught, but he tried to make a play and ended up paying for
it.
So big break for the Polar Bears. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. 5:21 left in the first quarter. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs to his right. 2 receivers to the left, to the right. Mulliman back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket, throw it out into the left sideline, and that is caught by Gino Szymanski with the reception and moves the chains. A first down for the Polar Bears.
Great protection up front that time by Jackson's offensive line. Leakage late, but the quarterback was able to move to his left a little bit, let things create on the edge for his wide receiver. He saw a window, sat down perfectly, pitch and catch, first down.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Mulliman in the pistol with Jacobs behind him. They turn, hand to Jacobs right up the middle, and then he bounces it to the right. Nowhere to go. Tries to come back to the left. Mulliman becomes a lead blocker. Jacob gets the edge and into the end zone for the score. I don't see it. Do you see it?
That's like the 4th game
we covered. I see it.
You see it this time?
Okay. The 21. So the holding penalty will take the touchdown off the board. It's holding on Jackson. They said that was on number 70 for the Polar Bears, Elijah Gordon. the 5'11", 240-pound junior. And that's going to push the Polar Bears back to the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20 now. 5:05 left in the first quarter. No score here from Bob Cummings Field in Plain Township, the home of the Glenoak Golden Eagles. I'm Ryan Keller.
Antonio Hall.
Antonio Hall.
That was a great block by Mulliman, too. Like, you love seeing your quarterback getting out there and getting his nose dirty, trying to create something for his running back. Bubble screen to the right, incomplete pass. Try to throw a little bubble screen to the 3 receiver side. To number 3 receiver. Wasn't able to connect. Now it's 2nd and 20. Jackson checking to the sideline, getting the signal. They're going no huddle. Gets to the line of scrimmage. Empty backfield, 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the bottom towards our sideline. The man drops back. Let's go over the middle. Almost intercepted off the tip from the wide receiver, just a little high out of his reach, and the safety was right behind him. Was able to get his hands on it, but just couldn't come down with it.
Thanks, Coach. You got it. 4:56 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 20 for the Jackson Polar Bears. They're set up the ball on the left hash. They send 3 receivers to the wide side right, single wide out to the left. Mulliman in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right, looks, throws this one, and forces the receiver to go down to the ground to make the reception. I believe that was Michael Redgenball.
Moments pass complete to number 8.
His name is Reckenball?
Rajimble.
Okay.
It's always nice when we can hear the PA announcer.
I like Reckenball better. That's a great football name.
It's like the battering Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, right, Scadaboo. That's my guy.
So the completion will force Jackson to punt. 4th and 16 at the 31-yard line. Surprised they didn't try another field goal.
Hey, why not? You almost made it.
So
Jackson's offense really looks out of sync so far this game. Not how we've seen them in the past this season.
And not a great punt either. Let's hope for Jackson it gets a good bounce. And it will go inside. They do get a little bit of roll at the end of that, and they'll down it at the 6-yard line. So Glenoak will have it 1st and 10 at the
ball was down by number 30.
6-yard line. 3:58 left in the quarter.
If you would have told me in the first 3 offensive drives, Jackson only have 1 first down, I wouldn't have believed you. So hats off to Glenoak's defense coming out, being ready to play this game. They have Jackson flustered offensively. They're pinned back now off on their own 5-yard line. Let's see if Glenoak can get a drive and try to flip this field at minimum.
So they take it 1st and 10. Turn. Play action to McClendon. Throws, and that's going to go through the hands of the intended receiver. It was Connor Wilson trying to hit, I believe, that was R.J. Hairston.
Just a little too tall. Here comes the quarterback running to the sideline again.
So 2nd down for the Golden Eagles. No score here at Glenoak. 3:52 left in the first quarter. They turn, hand it off to McClendon. He gets to the 2nd level, and we'll get to the 7-yard line, 8-yard line. So pick up a 3 on that carry. It'll be 3rd down now. Both offenses really struggling to get anything going, but is that the offenses, or is that credit to the defense?
I think it's a little of both. I know that Glenoak has ran counter to the right side, pulling the backside left guard and left tackle 4 times, and each time they've got positive yardage. So if anything's working, counter's working, and that's a staple of Scott Garcia's offense. Always has been, always will be.
So the sophomore Wilson in the shotgun. McClendon lined up to his left. He's back to pass, throws it, finds McClendon out of the backfield with the reception and picks up the 1st down before being forced out of bounds at the 18. They're going to mark him at the 20-yard line. So a nice 3rd down conversion there for the Golden Eagles and moves the chains.
Jackson ran an outside blitz that time. They ran the swing route to the running back on that same side. No one peeled on that blitz to pick up the running back out the backfield. He was wide open, was able to move the chains for the first down. Good recognition by the quarterback.
3:07 left in the first quarter. No score here. Glenoak breaks the huddle. They're lined up on the left hash. Connor Wilson in the shotgun. They send a man in motion from left to right. Two receivers to the wide side right, single to the left. Back to pass is Wilson. There's a penalty marker on the play. I imagine that's going to be an illegal motion.
Well, not enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation, yeah. Illegal shift.
Gotcha.
So that'll go against Glenoak. That'll move him back 5 yards.
Do something good to move the chains, and you do something to move the ball back. Take a step forward, take a step back.
It's like 1 step forward and 2 steps back. It's a good old 90s country there.
That's right. Goes the quarterback again. He's already ran about a mile tonight.
2nd and 12 for Glenoak. Tight end on a little comeback route at the 24-yard line. So a good pickup there on 2nd down to put him in 3rd and kind of medium with 2:50 left in the first quarter.
Glenoak ran a levels concept to the right side of the field where the trips were. The inside receiver was the shortest level or the closest level. He was able to connect with him and make it 3rd and manageable. It's about 3rd and 7.
Clock runs, 2:30 left in the first quarter. Wilson in the shotgun. Clendon to his left. Back to pass is Wilson. He's going to be forced out to his right. He's got to take off and run. Gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say he picked up 1 yard, so it'll be 4th down. That's a smart play, close game. Young quarterback comes in here, doesn't want to force anything. They've already had 2 turnovers just to get out of bounds, and your defense has been playing well. Let them back out onto the field. Penalty. And we'll see what they have to say. False start on Glenoak, so that's going to push them back 5.
The last 2 punts, we've seen the return man muff it or drop it. So let's see what happens on this punt return right here by Jackson.
Sean Leahy on to punt for Glenoak. He stands at his 6-yard line. Cal's back deep for Jackson. Takes the snap. And not a good punt at all. Be lucky if he gets back to midfield. Takes a Glenoak bounce. Does get across midfield, but will be down at the 47-yard line. The Polar Bears have had great field position this entire first quarter. Just haven't been able to do anything with it.
Have not. Wide receiver, quarterbacks look a little out of sync. Glenoak's doing a good job versus the run so far. Glenoak's doing a really good job in coverage, not letting anything get behind them. We'll see what Jackson does here on their 4th series because the first 3, they were able to get only 1 first down.
So Jackson makes their way onto the field. Carter Mulliman in the pistol. Jacobs behind him, hands it off to Jacobs over the right-hand side. He'll get to midfield and will be stopped after a gain of 3. And will set up 2nd down for the Polar Bears.
That was a good 3 yards. He saw that if he bounced outside, he would get absolutely nothing. So he crammed it up in there and got 3.5 yards, actually closer to 4. And so good first down run.
Now Mulliman goes empty, sends 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. He takes the snap. Penalty marker. False start on Jackson. This has been a very sloppy first quarter for both teams.
Very sloppy.
That was on Gino Seismansky. We've called his name a couple times here tonight.
He's one of their primary targets.
So Jackson comes out, same formation, 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. He takes the snap, back to pass. He looks, throws it out into the right side, and that is incomplete. Good defense from Glenoak coming up and knocking that away at the last second.
So see a lot of frustration right now. The Jackson offense, their wide receivers, their body language, they're really out of sync right now on the offensive side of the ball for Jackson.
Curry on the coverage. Another 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 for Jackson. 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. Mulliman empty in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's looking to his left. Finds a man open. He's going to be short of the line to gain. That was caught by Szymanski, and he will be about 3 yards short of the line to gain.
Go for it.
And the player to the right. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs lined up to his right. Now Jackson checks with the side. They reset. 4th and 3. Jackson, Mulliman takes the snap. He's looking. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to take off and run, and he will pick up the first down and will be knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Smart play by the junior quarterback, moving the chains for the Polar Bears.
Glenoak in a drop 8 that time, covering up everybody. Mulliman realizes it. Great job tucking his head, getting what he could on the first down. Actually gets almost 10 yards. Good job recognizing the situation, moving the chains on 4th, living to fight another down.
28 seconds left in the first quarter. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs to his left. They turn, hand it off. No, Mulliman pulls it and tries to get around the left side. And I don't know if he just lost his footing. But Mulliman goes down before, and he's kind of shaken up a little bit. You can see he's got a brace on that left knee.
Mm-hmm.
And it
right there.
And their starting quarterback, Lucas Eckerman, is not dressed tonight. Suffered a concussion 2 weeks ago, missed last week. And the high-powered Jackson offense that was there against Green is nowhere to be found, against Lake is nowhere to be found here tonight.
Nowhere. It looks like they might still be on the bus. So let's see if they can get them off the bus and get ready for the second quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. No score here from Glenoak. We're going to step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. Bacon or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Ehrenholt with over $30 million in volume sold in 2024, you can feel confident knowing that you're in the best of hands. Call Joanna at 330-309-2343 or Cindy Ehrenholt at 330-268-5063 or find them both at howardhanna.com.
This is head coach Scott Garcia from the Glenoak Golden Eagles. You're listening to high school football on Q92 Sports Network.
And back here at Bob Cummings Field at Glenoak, Jackson with the football to start the second quarter, now moving from left to right. And it's 3rd and 7, ball at the 32-yard line. They send 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Mulliman empty in the backfield. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's looking, throws it high across the middle, just missing his intended receiver, and that'll bring up another 4th down for Jackson.
And he had a wide open receiver down here to the right side towards the hash. Wide open.
So 4th down, and I imagine Jackson's going to go for it again where they're at on the field at the 32-yard line. Second quarter just underway. No score.
Last fourth down, Glenoak dropped everybody. Let's see if they change it up and try to bring some heat on this fourth down.
They go empty again. 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Mulliman back to pass. He's looking, throws it, and that's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. The Glenoak defense holds strong yet again.
Again, dropping 8 in coverage, nowhere to throw. Great job by Glenoak's defense again, playing lights out so far tonight.
So Glenoak will come back out onto the field.
Glenoak tonight before the game.
Glenoak's defense came to ball, baby.
So they break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 32. 11-12 left in the half. They send 3 receivers to the wide side left. Glenoak moving from right to left. Wilson takes the snap. He looks, throws it out to McClendon on the right-hand side, and McClendon did the smart thing there because he knew where that defender was, and if he would have tried to catch that, he would have been lit up.
Definitely. Glenoak was able to get away with that play a couple times last drive. Jackson adjusts. That time when the running back released for the swing route, outside linebacker or the safety, I couldn't tell which one, picked him up in coverage and had him in the sight hairs.
So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line. They take the ball, hand it off to McClendon over the left-hand side. Again, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Both defenses are doing a stout job.
Our linebackers for Jackson pulling their trigger, recognizing the counter. They were able to meet the running back at the line of scrimmage. That's how you read it right there. Good job by those inside linebackers.
So another big 3rd down.
Quarterback runs onto the field with the play again. I'm telling you, man, he getting the steps in tonight.
10:25 left in the half. 3rd and 10 at their own 32. Wilson takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's going to step up, and he's sacked in the backfield, brought down by Jackson's Luke Maison. And a big loss on the play, and it'll bring up another 4th down here tonight.
Jackson brings 6 that time on the blitz, brought an inside rush and an outside rush from the blitz, able to bottle up the quarterback. He couldn't step up, couldn't step out. He just had to go down. Great blitz by Jackson that time.
So another punt. Jackson kind of went after it a little bit, able to get it away, but fielded at the 45-yard line. That is taken to the 46-yard line by Will Sterling, the junior.
The 32.
It looks like he almost misjudged that one. He kind of adjusted and caught it like on his right shoulder because I think he came up too far. So that could have been another catastrophe for Jackson in the return game. But good job fielding it, get what you can get. But that coverage by Glenoak's punt team was phenomenal, only getting about 2 yards on the punt return.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see people catch those punts, they catch them like this, and he kind of caught it like a receiver above his head a little bit.
Yep, and I think that's because he just misjudged it a little bit.
So good field position again for Jackson. They haven't been able to turn that into points. They've had great field position all game.
Phenomenal field position.
1st and 10 at their own 46. Mulliman takes, turns, hands off to Jacobs over the left, tries to cut it back to the middle, gets across midfield. Will be brought down at the 48-yard line of Glenoak.
That was a good job setting it up. I know he wanted to bounce it, but he acted like he was about to bounce it outside. The linebacker to that side overcommitted. He stuck his foot in the ground, got vertical, and was able to get a good 5.5, 6 yards by keeping it inside the tackle. That's what you want to do as a running back. Get those hard yards now because in the 4th quarter it's going to pay off.
The 1st down for Jackson with 9 minutes left in the 1st half.
Jackson counters with their own counter and gets a big gain on 2nd down. Good job getting this run game going on this drive by Jackson. They haven't been able to do that so far in this game.
So 1st and 10 at the 42. Jacobs to the right of Mulliman. They've got 2 receivers to the short side left, single wide out to the wide side right. They check with the sideline. Mulliman takes. He looks to the left, throws, caught at the 40, and he will be rustled down after a gain of 2.
Glenoak is right there. I mean, as soon as the receiver catches the ball, they have a guy on him. Glenoak is doing a good job keeping everything in front, doing a good job in their zones, really not allowing a lot of windows to open up for the receivers to work in. And once they do catch it, they're on them right now, getting good open field tackles.
So Mulliman in the shotgun, 2 wings to the right, wide out right as well, and they kind of turn, hand it off to Jacobs. Jacobs trying to get again to the edge, gets across to the 36-yard line of Glenoak, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 4. 7:45 left in the first half.
Good hard 3 yards right now, and that was a hard 3 yards to get because he could have been tackled at the line of scrimmage, but he put his head down, kept his feet turning, and was able to get enough body lean to at least get positive yards right there.
So big 3rd down for the Polar Bears. Ball on the right hash. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs in the pistol, slightly to the right behind him. 2 receivers to the wide side left. Single to the short right. Wing right. Mulliman takes, turns, hands off to Jacobs. A little hesitation at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward. It'll be interesting to see where they spot him at, and they do give him the 1st down. He gets to the Glenoak 30.
He made something out of nothing right there because it looked like they had him bottled up. He didn't have a hole to run through, but he made his own hole, and sometimes you got to be your own best blocker, and that's what he did right there to move the chains.
So 1st down for Jackson. 2 receivers to the wide side left, single to the short right. Mulliman in the shotgun. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's got a man open right down the middle of the field, and it looked like the receiver gave up on that one, and it falls incomplete. I think that was Micah Rigimbo, and that falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, it looks like he did pull up a little bit right there. I don't know what was going on with that, but he had a step on him, had 2 steps on him. Ball was a little overthrown, but if he keeps running it, he might be able to run underneath it.
So 2nd and 10 at the Glenoak 31. 2 receivers to the short side right. They've got 2 receivers in that really close to the boundary there. They move Jacobs in motion now from right to left, and they hand it off on a jet sweep. He's trying to get around the edge, and he is going to be drugged down and tackled in the backfield. A loss of 1, and a late flag comes in. See what the officials have to say.
Offsetting.
So offsetting personal fouls, 1 on Jackson, 1 on Glenoak. I believe that was Jacobs and the gentleman who tackled him afterwards. I don't think Jacobs liked the way he was thrown down and kind of got up in his face a little bit. So no harm on the foul. I was going to say no harm, no foul, but there was.
There were 2, actually.
So sets up a big 3rd and 12 for Jackson at the Glenoak 33. They go empty. 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Mulliman, he's looking, throws this one into the end zone, going up, and falls incomplete in a very late flag thrown. That back judge waited and is going to call pass interference against Glenoak.
I don't know about that one.
I do not agree with that call either. That was great coverage. They said by Curry.
What a bailout right there.
They said that was on Darian Curry, the 5'8", 176-pound senior. Again, that was on the far side of the field, but from where we're at, that did not look like excessive contact or anything like that.
I think the only thing they could have got him on is if for face guard, like not turning for the ball. But I don't know.
So that takes Jackson inside the RG Drag red zone, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Mulliman back to pass, empty backfield. He's looking, throws this one a little in route at the 10-yard line, and that is caught by Micah Gimbal. and there is an injury in the Jackson backfield. And I was looking to see if that was Carter Mulliman, just to be sure, and it is not, which is a sigh of relief for Jackson because I don't know who they have a sophomore listed and then another junior listed as quarterback on the roster. Mulliman's not even listed as a quarterback on the roster, which is funny. He's a wide receiver and a defensive back, but I mean, when we have seen him in rhythm and when he is on, he is as good as any quarterback.
It's pretty. I mean, he delivers a great ball, usually very accurate. His timing, tonight they just look kind of a little bit out of sync.
Some other games going on in the area. Let's jump into the scoreboard a little bit because there's some shockers here. West Branch 20, Alliance 0.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Massillon 17, Cornerstone Christian. Yeah, I think they're Cornerstone Christian from Texas. Nothing. Northwest Tuslaw tied at 6. Louisville Green tied at 6. Minerva 7, Marlington 0.
Okay.
McKinley 14, Lake 7. Get to some more scores coming up here shortly. 2nd and 2 for Jackson. No score here. Mulliman takes, turns, hands it off to Jacobs right up the middle, and he is going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. 10-yard touchdown run by Corey Jacobs.
They ran counter to the left. Jacobs run straight up the A-gap. He didn't try to bounce it, didn't try to press it, and he scores a touchdown. No one touches him. That's what you have to do if you're going to run between the tackles. Stop all that dancing and bouncing, get north and south. When you do, you get touchdowns. Great run.
I agree 100%. And McClendon's the same way. If these guys would just take 3 or 4 yards right up the middle, then it's going to open up that bounce. Because right now they expect you to bounce it out every time.
Yep. And both of these defenses are fast enough on the edge where they're not going to allow you to do that.
Yep. So Jackson missed that flag as well. There was a dead ball unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Jackson after the score.
Great job by Jackson's offensive line on that run, not letting him get touched. And he pretty much almost walks into the end zone.
So Cooper Miser on to attempt the extra point for the Polar Bears. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. So 5:37. Got a little number dyslexia going on there. Remaining in the first half, the Polar Bears strike first. It's 7-0 Jackson. We're going to step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is head coach Jay Rohr from the Jackson Polar Bears. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field at Glenoak High School as the Jackson Polar Bears get on the board first, 7-0.
That pass interference call really bailed him out and put him in great position to score on that drive.
I don't see the score under Jackson. Is it blocked by something? I don't see it on the scoreboard. I know it's 7-0.
Yeah, it's behind the stands where the band is.
So we're gonna have
to. Looks like a blank screen right there.
Yeah, it looks like it's just there's nothing there. All right, Miser on to kick off. He will be teeing this one up from the 25-yard line. Now let's see if he just lets into this one. He'll run up, and he's going to squib it, and it'll be fielded at the 44-yard line. Whoever that was that came through to pick that ball up, great job by that up man, because that would have bounced and rolled, and they would not have gotten the field position that they have right now, and that'll be right around midfield. I'd like to see these numbers are so difficult to see because they are wearing black jerseys. That is number 22. Landon Gilmore. Great heads-up play by the fullback and linebacker to give Glenoak, great field position at the Jackson 48-yard line. Yeah, black uniform, black jerseys with these dark green numbers outlined in gold, and it is just awful to try to see. So they take the handoff over the right-hand side, across the 45-yard line. That was Rozier for Glenoak. I'm really using the PA guy to help me along through here.
Rozier, the young sophomore running back and linebacker, he's more of an inside the tackle runner. He'll look to press the hole, really get up in there and get what he can get. He's not a guy that's going to try to bounce it from sideline to sideline, but he runs very, very hard between the tackles.
And they're doing a wildcat with him at quarterback. So Rozier is in at the quarterback position, the young sophomore, and he's going to hand this one off over the right-hand side to McClendon. He gets across the 40, still on his feet at the 35, still on his feet down to the 30.
I like this package. The first play they ran the jet read. Rozier kept it, crammed it up inside. That time on the jet read, he gives it to McClendon. He gets around the edge and gets a lot of yards for that first down for Glenoak. Now Glenoak's offense seems to be rolling.
The Aviators get on the board. It's West Branch 20, Alliance 7 as we check into the scoreboard. Canton South 7, Fairless nothing. 7-0 here. Jackson leading, but Glenoak with their best drive so far. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Rozier takes, and then we'll run the Wildcat with him over the left-hand side. He cuts his right back up into the middle, and he will get to the 27-yard line. Good, smart run from the sophomore.
Very patient, letting it develop, and then whatever hole opens up, he banged it right into it. Good job.
Jump back on the scoreboard real quick. Another one jumped out at me. Hoover 21, Perry 7.
Yep.
So 2nd and 7 from the 27 for the Golden Eagles. 3:45 remaining in the first half. As Rozier in at running the pistol, and we're going to have every single official through their flag. There are 5 flags out onto the field right now. So false start on Glenoak.
Just when you start to get something rolling, you get shot in the foot by a penalty. Now you're behind the chains. Now it's 2nd and a long 12, and you're in your Wildcat.
So the run a reverse now, trying to get to the edge. He's got room along the left side across the 25-20. One man to beat, and he does not beat him. A great open field tackle by Jackson Baker, but a great designed play running the reverse over the left-hand side. That was Sean Leahy with the run, and it gets Glenoak inside the RG Drag red zone.
Great play, but great individual effort by Baker right there. He had 2 blockers leading the way, and he's able to split both of them in the open field and able to make that tackle. Great individual effort by preventing that touchdown right there.
So 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Rozier in at quarterback, running the Wildcat. He's going to fake it on the end around. He's got room, cuts it back up into the middle, and is down to the 6-yard line. This offense seems to be giving Jackson a lot of problems. Now with so much speed, I mean, they're running the football, but you don't know where it's going or who's going to have it.
And that time they ran the fake reverse, same exact play they ran the last time, but they faked the reverse. The quarterback keeps it, hits outside the tackle, and was able to get a
time. We'll send it back to the studio, get some news from Jeff Mears, and run through some more local scores and So 1st and 10, 2:03 remaining in the first half. Jackson with the football. Mulliman takes it. He's looking, throws it out into the right side, and that's going to go over the head of two intended receivers and fall incomplete.
Man, great coverage right there by the secondary. Mulliman, he just looks off the mark right now, but his receivers aren't doing him any favors either. But I tell you what, that Glenoak secondary is not letting anybody breathe in that receiving corps from Jackson right now.
So 2nd down for the Polar Bears. Mulliman takes, hands it off right up the middle, and that gets nowhere. Jacobs got back. Now they're going to say he got.
We're calling a timeout right now.
Yard and a half.
Garcia.
Yeah. 1:40 remaining on the clock. It's 3rd and 8. And
we'll be taking the timeout.
They have 2 timeouts remaining. They might be wanting to save a little bit. If they don't get it here, I imagine you're going to see a quick timeout. Jackson goes empty. 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. Mulliman back to pass. He's looking, throws. He's got a man open. Caught at the 40-yard line. And will be taken down at the 43-yard line. And Jackson is going to wait and let they're going to hurry up to the line. Clock stops as they move the chains.
Number 2 receiver on the far side of the field did a great job finding the soft spot in that zone, and Eckerman was able Mulliman was able to find him for the connection.
Mulliman's got to step up in the pocket, and that's going to be a fumble. He tried to throw that backwards. Jacobs trying to pick it up, and he does. He gets it at the 15, at the 10, across the 20 now, and is brought down. That is going to be a loss of 10, 15, almost 20 yards. Mulliman stepped up in the pocket, had nowhere to go, and used his left hand to try to get it to Jacobs, and that's a huge loss. And the clock keeps running.
Huge loss right there.
I don't know why Coach Garcia hasn't taken a timeout.
Me neither. They're in great field position right now. 30 seconds left.
So Mulliman, he's going to take it. And a loss of 1, and now Coach Garcia takes the timeout with 17 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know, but had an opportunity to at least keep another 30 seconds on the clock right there when you get it back, if you get it back. Now Jackson's in the 3rd and about 20, 3rd and 25? Oh, 3rd and 27. So not many players to choose from in this situation if you're the offensive coordinator for Jackson. To probably run something safe, maybe a draw, maybe even a screen. But Glenoak hasn't been blitzing a lot. They've been playing coverage most of the time, so a screen really wouldn't be effective right here. But we'll see what they dial up.
I don't understand the
clock, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have called it after that 2nd down before they got the 1st down.
So it'll be 3rd and 27. Also, that timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. 17 seconds left in the half. Jackson goes 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Jacobs to the right of Mulliman in the shotgun. Turn, hand it off to Jacobs. Right up the middle, tries to bounce it to the outside. Clock continues to run. Garcia takes his last timeout with 12 seconds left. Once again, this timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. And, I mean, I imagine that you might as well just send an all-out blitz right now and try to block this.
Yeah, you have to go for it. I mean, even if you get a penalty and they move the change, they still have a whole field to drive. So I bring the house.
Once again, coming up at halftime, we'll send it right back to the studio, get the news from Jeff Mears, and then we'll bring it back here, talk a little bit about the first half, jump into the scoreboard. Got some more scores coming in here. We'll give you all that information, and then talk a little bit about the computer rankings entering tonight's game and where some local area teams sit, which teams are currently in position for buys. This year, they went from 16 teams to 12 teams, and in round 1, the top 4 teams will get a bye. So we'll talk all that coming up here at halftime. 12 seconds remaining in the half. Jackson on to punt. 4th and 25. And now Jackson's going to go tight, protect, punt formation.
Nice punt. That's exactly what I would do because they know they're going to bring the house.
And the snap is back. Good snap. And gets the punt away. Fair catch, called for and missed. It's muffed. Jackson has a chance to jump on it, and they pick it up. You can't advance a muffed punt, but the Polar Bears are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of Glenoak with 2 seconds left. Oh, my goodness.
Special teams have been a nightmare so far for Glenoak tonight.
Now, the officials are talking about it to see if he actually touched that football.
From here, it looked like he did.
I thought he did too, but it carried a ton of speed after it went past the return man. Now, the Jackson defender or punt. Oh, they're going to say Glenoak football. So they're going to say that he did not touch that. That is a huge break for the Golden Eagles with 2 seconds left in the half.
Huge.
Oh, my goodness. So now and Glenoak takes a knee. I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit more. I was confusing the clock management at the end of that to take those timeouts when they took them just to take a knee.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, halftime here at Glenoak. Jackson 7, Glenoak 7. I can see the scoreboard now. You know what it was? I bet it was one of them trombones up there.
It was the band. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
All right, it's halftime here at Glenoak. We are all tied up at 7. We're going to take a break and send it right back to the studio and get the news from Jeff Mears. This is high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important benefits that we can offer at Friends and Family Credit Union. Welcome to Family Secure Checking. It offers unrivaled security to protect your everyday finances and purchases, as well as comprehensive identity theft protection and reimbursement coverage, credit file monitoring, benefits for travel, shopping rewards, and cell phone protection that includes repair or replacement for up to 4 phones on your cell phone plan. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Ehrenholt with over $30 million in volume sold in 2024, you can feel confident knowing that your 330-268-5063 or find them both at howardhanna.com.
From the newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears with this halftime edition of Q92 News. A man accused in a shooting at a North Canton apartment complex faces charges of felonious assault, discharging a weapon into a home or school, and inducing panic. Bond was set at $1.1 million during the first court appearance this morning for 38-year-old Brian Francisco. He was arrested after Thursday morning's incident at the Versailles Garden Apartments at Main and Apple Grove Streets. Francisco allegedly was shooting through the walls of an apartment when gunfire struck the victim. Police rescued the woman through a window as the shooting continued. She was taken to Mercy Hospital for treatment of multiple wounds. Her condition has not been released. There's not believed to be a connection between the shooter and victim. The Canton Metro crash team is investigating a fatal accident at Harrison Avenue and Navarre Road Southwest. 35-year-old Martin Hightower of Canton was pronounced dead at Altman Hospital at 4:30 this morning, less than half an hour after the crash. Police say Hightower was riding an electric bike when he failed to stop at a red light and was hit by a vehicle that was southbound on Harrison. And 20-year-old Chloe Snyder of West Township was arraigned today in Canton Municipal Court. She was arrested earlier today on a warrant charging her with felonious assault. Snyder and two unidentified suspects allegedly struck a 20-year-old Maslin man on the head with a metal bar and wrench. The victim suffered serious injuries in the September 11th incident in the 200 block of Arlington Avenue Southwest. Snyder is scheduled to return to court Tuesday for a status conference. The Stark County Jail is getting state assistance to help inmates receive treatment for addiction. A roughly $227,000 grant was announced today by Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. Sheriff Eric Weisburn says his office will use the funding to build upon the success of the jail's Stark County Adult Recovery Program. It focuses on the causes of addiction. The grant is part of a third round of funding to 11 Ohio County jails totaling just 5 years. Bob Foss informed the board the district will end the current fiscal year with a balanced budget and a surplus of about $348,000. During a Wednesday work session, Ryan Gazzoni with Frontline Education cited previous cost-cutting as a factor. Deficit spending of roughly $547,000 is forecast in 2026 and about $1.2 million in 2027. Foss says the projections reflect only the general fund. One reason for the deficit spending improvement. Have to ask voters for new operating funds within the next 10 years. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. SoundCloud now. Follow Q92 Radio and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
Nimishillen Township trustees learned of a new zoning process Thursday. WDPN's David Schur reports.
Upgrading to an online permit application simplifies the process, eliminates paperwork and filing cabinets, and provides a permanent record of the processing. The procedure is also adaptable to other required records for other township departments. Trustees also approved a $3,960 purchase of 23 pair of fire-retardant Nomex pants from Livingston's Uniforms of Akron.
Trustees also approved monthly department reports. A Portage County grand jury has indicted a woman on 2 counts of animal cruelty. 35-year-old Sarah Senny is accused of leaving her 2 dogs locked inside a mobile home without food or water and allowing them to starve to death. An investigation began in June after the Portage Animal Protective League received a tip about the animals' welfare. Neighbors said they hadn't heard the dogs in 3 months. A humane officer found them dead inside the trailer. Their bodies were severely decomposed and the floor was covered with feces. A former Lisbon teacher has pleaded guilty to 30 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor and 15 counts of illegal use of a minor in nudity-oriented material or performance. The pleas were entered today in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court by 69-year-old James Watt of Columbiana. He will be sentenced January 9th. Watt possessed obscene material involving children in October 2024. 18 devices were seized from him based on information from a cyber tip, and Watt was indicted in January. He was a STEM teacher at Lisbon David Anderson High School until his retirement last year. Authorities are investigating after a body was found behind a Youngstown home Thursday Thursday afternoon. Police responded to an address on Elmira Avenue on the city's south side. The body was discovered in the backyard by a person who was cleaning the property. It's not clear how long it had been there. The Mahoning County Coroner's Office identified the body as that of George Westhead. He was previously reported missing. The cause of death is unknown. An elderly woman is in critical condition following a house fire in Austintown this morning. Firefighters were called to the 3800 block of Cannon Road around 9:40. The woman, who is disabled, was pulled from the home through a bedroom window. She was taken to a hospital. The house sustained heavy damage. The cause is under investigation by the State Fire Marshal's office. A man accused of robbing a bank in Boardman Thursday is behind bars. Boardman police arrested 48-year-old Terry Gilbert of Hanover Township after responding to the reported holdup at a PNC Bank branch on Market Street. He allegedly demanded money from a teller and fled with $220. Officers found Gilbert in Southern Park Mall a short time later. He was booked at the Mahoning County Jail on a robbery charge. Gilbert was arraigned today in Youngstown Municipal Court on a robbery charge stemming from Tuesday's holdup of a Huntington Bank in Youngstown. He was wanted on multiple warrants, including a federal warrant for a probation violation. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, right after a look at the forecast. For the overnight, mostly clear skies and a low of 46. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high around 66. For Q92 News, I'm Jeff Mears.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field. It's halftime, and we are all tied up at 7 between Glenoak and Jackson. Also, you just heard Purple Raiders football, Mount Union back in action tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 on AM 1310 WDPN, our sister station, also streaming on Q92's YouTube, the AM 1310 Facebook and X page as well. So you can check out the Purple Raiders having themselves a good season so far. They will be traveling to Wilmington, which is a haul.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, join Sam Berkwin tomorrow afternoon with that game. Him and Ryan Bevere should be, I like seeing the Purple Raiders do well.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the first half of this game. Just seemed like both teams couldn't seem to get their offense rolling, and then the change for Glenoak, putting his name
Marlo Champ Rozier.
There you go, Champ Rozier at the Wildcat really seemed to pay dividends for Glenoak's offense and kind of got them going.
They looked like they had life. They looked like they had some electricity. They were getting hat on the hat. They were running inside, outside, reverses, fake reverses. So even though they're in a Wildcat offense, they were to be very multiple and diverse in what they were running and really keeping Jackson on their heels defensively. Hope they come back out with it sometime during the second half because that was the most impressive I've seen Glenoak's offense yet this season.
And Jackson, even the drive they scored on, they still didn't seem to really to click.
Right. I mean, they got bailed out by that questionable pass interference call in the corner of the end zone, and then they were able to get enough yardage, and then Jacobs hits it up in there in that A gap and presses it and sees part, and he walks to the end zone. So they were able to get on the board first, but Glenoak quickly returned the ball.
Let's jump into the scoreboard a little bit. Check out some of the area scores. Minerva 7, Marlington 0. So the Lions and
okay, Lions will be back on that win column,
and we'll get into. We'll do the scores first, and then we'll talk a little bit about where teams sit. That way I'm not bouncing back and forth too much. Tuslaw 6, Northwest 6 at halftime. Fairless 7, Canton South 21 halftime. McKinley 17, Lake 7. Massillon 24, Cornerstone 7. Oh, the Aviators trying to claw back in. West Branch 27, Alliance 14.
All right.
Louisville Green, another shootout for the Bulldogs, 14-14. Hoover 28, Perry 14. East Canton and Tuscarora Central Catholic. I don't know if I don't think scores are being reported for that game because it's currently listed at 0-0. So there's some scores for you. Let's do this as well. McKinley 17, Lake 7 at halftime. All right, let's look at some of where some of these schools sit in the current playoff coming into tonight's game. Camp McKinley 6-1. They're currently the 3 seed. If they stay where they're at, they will have a first round bye. Jackson is currently the 6th seed in Division I, Region 1. So they're at 4-3. They are just ahead of Berea Mid-Park and Strongsville. Berea Mid-Park's 4-3. Strongsville's 5-2. So I think Jackson is okay because Cleveland John Marshall, they're in, but they're a 2-5 team. Cleveland Heights is in. They're a 2-5 team. St. Ignatius 1-6 on the year. They're currently on the outside looking in.
Man, they're going to get it straightened out over there.
But they are currently the last team that is in the playoffs as we speak. They are the 12 seed, and they've got 3.75 points. Glenoak, they are the 16 seed. They are the last seed in Division I, Region 1 with 1.85 points. But a big win tonight against Jackson would really propel them right back up there, and they have a chance to jump Ignatius and sneak into the playoffs.
Right. A lot's riding on this half right here.
A lot riding on this half right here. Let's jump into Division II, Region 5, Uniontown Lake. They are the number 2 seed. A point and a half behind Archbishop Hoban, who is the number 1 seed. This is just, we talk about it every time we talk about it. This is a really, really tough division. Division 2, I think, is the toughest division in all of football.
Has to be.
Hoban, Lake, Walsh Jesuit, Nardonia, Fitch, Painesville, Hudson, Garfield, Twinsburg, Willoughby South, Boardman, and Akron Kenmore. Those are the teams that are currently in Division II, Region 5. And we'll jump to Region 7 in Division 2. Louisville is currently the number 7 seed. It's crazy. That loss to North Canton Hoover dropped them to number 8.
Wow.
That Hoover loss last week dropped them to number 8. But they are right ahead of Massillon Washington, who is at number 9. And Perry sits at 4-3. They are the 15 seed. And they need to get, the number 12 seed, Asheville Taze Valley, has 8.8 points. Perry has 7.5 points. So that's not anything that they can't overcome.
Right.
But Federal League is so tight. These teams are so tough. When you play them at the end of the year, really, the wins are huge, but the losses are even bigger.
More devastating. You're right.
All right, let's jump to Division 3, Region 9. We only have there's two teams. I guess Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, we'll lump them in. They're the number 2 seed, and Alliance currently the number 6 seed. The Aviators 6-1. A loss tonight for them would really hurt as well against West Branch, as they are currently trailing. Jeremiah Thomas, 68-yard punt return. West Branch 34, Alliance 14. 26 seconds left in the second quarter. Man. So, yeah, not looking good for the Aviators. They desperately need to pick up some wins. All right, let's jump down to Division 4, Region 13. Norton, Mentor Lake Catholic, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Glenville are the top 4. And then you got Perry from up north. They're sitting 5th, and West Branch is 6th. West Branch is going to take a huge jump up in those standings if they beat Alliance today. Alliance is a great season so far, 6-1 on the year. They're going to benefit huge off of a win against Alliance tonight if that stays the way it's trending. Northwest currently at the 8th seed, and Salem at the 11th seed. Marlington currently sitting at 14th. They are just outside the top 12 to make the playoffs, and they are currently trailing tonight as well, 7-0 to Marlington. Let's go to division. What's Marlington? I think I missed them. Do you know what division and region they're in?
I do not off the top of my head.
So there's 4. They've got to be 5 or 6, right?
At least 5.
All right. Here we go. Let's look at Division 5, Region 17. Akron Manchester, they're currently sitting 6th with a 6-1 record. Massillon Tuslaw, they are at the 11 seed. At 3-4 on the year, so it's and they're currently were they winning or tied? That's a tight game as well tonight between Tuslaw. Let's see. I must have missed Minerva somewhere.
Been from Minerva or Marlington?
Minerva.
Oh, you said Marlington at first.
I have Marlington. They're
Okay.
the 14 seed,
right,
in Division 4, Region 13. But I don't know what I did with. Hold on, I can figure this out because I think they're right on the bubble as well. So we'll go to our trusted. Oh boy, let's see.
Approaching the 3-minute mark for halftime. The homecoming court is just leaving the field for Glenoak.
Minerva is Division 4, Region 15. Let's see here. That's why. Here we go. Where are they currently at? There's Canton South. Canton South's the 16 seed. I missed them as well. Let's see. Minerva. Oh, there they are. They're 17th. That's why this only goes up to 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was losing my mind there for a minute. Yeah. So Minerva at 4-3 is just behind Canton South at the 16 seed, but they've got they have an uphill battle to climb in order to get into that 12 spot in Division 4, Region 15. All right. Akron, Manchester, Tuslaw, we talked about them. Dalton and Smithville in Division 6, Region 21. Dalton's 4, Smithville is 5th. And I think that is Division 7, Region 25. Mogador sits at 6-1. They are the number 2 seed. Malvern, the Hornets, 5-2 on the year. They're the 4 seed. They will have a first-round bye if they continue to win out.
All right,
and Coach Spider Miller, East Canton, 5-2 on the year. They are the 7 seeds.
Right.
Hornets doing what they need to do to continue to battle for a playoff spot. So there's roundabout some of the high school rankings leading into tonight's game.
Yep.
And I believe these get you can go to Joe Edel, or Joe Idol. I don't know how he spells it, but their website is fantastic, and it breaks it down, and he usually gets these results posted pretty soon. So they are not official; they are unofficial, but it's still a good thing to keep your eye on, and you can check out all the teams and where they stand.
Yeah, he's like the Mel Kiper of high school computer points.
It's very true. I mean, his website's very easy. A lot of click-throughs and links to, you can go to a team schedule and you can click on any of the teams and it takes you. You can click on the regions and the divisions and it takes you everywhere you need to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's usually by, 11 o'clock at the latest it's done. I mean, when we come back from away trips, we're on the phone the whole time looking to see where the computer points are.
We've got a great slate of games coming up for you next week as well. We'll touch on some of these. McKinley at Jackson. That'll be our FM game of the week. Carrollton at West Branch on our sister station, AM 1310 WDPN. Minerva and Alliance. We will be at Lake next week for Hoover at Lake. That is a
for that one.
Huge game
Can't
with
wait.
Massive Federal League implications as well as playoff implications.
Yep.
Northwest at Fairless will be a great game. Green at Perry is going to be fantastic. And Warren Harding at Massillon. That should be a good game as well.
Should be.
A lot of great games in the area. It's crazy. It's week 9 next week. What is going on?
I can't believe it. I can't believe
It's
it, man.
nuts that it's week 9. So we're about to get under action here at Bob Cummings Field. Glenoak will kick off the second half. They will be moving from right to left. Jackson will return the second half kickoff. All tied up at 7. And third quarter action about to get underway. The run-up and the kickoff. And that will be a nice kick fielded at the 10-yard line, moving towards the middle of the field, across the 15-20, little seam, 25, and a huge collision at the 27-yard line where Jackson will take over 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some vicious hits by that Glenoak defense tonight, and a couple of those guys on kickoff, they're out there hitting too. So Glenoak tonight, they're being very physical. They're wrapping up, driving their feet, getting guys to the ground, and running to the ball. So very impressed again with this Glenoak defensive side of the ball.
Kickoff coverage was my absolute favorite thing to do.
I hear you, man.
Where else can you get a 40-yard running start before you get to run into someone?
Exactly.
Corey Jacobs lines up in the pistol to his left. They hand off to Jacobs up the middle, gets to the 20, gets to the 30, across the 34 down to, that's where they're going to mark him, the 34-yard line. So a good pickup on first down for Jackson.
Again, he's north and south. He's hitting A to B gap. He's not bouncing it, and he gets almost 6 yards on that carry. Great job on first down.
So they do give him 6. 2nd and 4 from the 34. Mulliman back to pass. He looks, throws it over to the right sideline. Caught enough for the first down and dragged out of bounds. Micah Regenball with the reception, and it moves the chains for the Polar Bears.
2 plays, first down for Jackson. Going no huddle.
Mulliman in the pistol with Jacobs to his left. They hand it off to Jacobs. Great job from the defense coming up and making a tackle in the backfield. That number 20, number 10, Rozier coming in, doing it on both sides of the ball, having himself a nice game. Rozier with the tackle and a loss of 1.
Yeah, the young sophomore is getting the start at will tonight because of an injury, and he is not letting his defense down.
So 2nd and 11 at the 38. Mulliman in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the wide side left. He's going to roll out to his left, throw it into the left sideline, caught, and finally brought down at the 46-yard line. That was Szymanski with the reception. Sets up a 3rd and 3 for Jackson. It was a good play on 2nd and long to get them in manageable field position.
Running the play to move the pocket, rolling out to the left. Mulliman was able to recognize that the inside receiver was sitting down right in the window. He connected with him. Now you're in the 3rd and 4.
Ball on the left hash. Mulliman takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Jacobs over the left-hand side. He's trying to get to the edge, and he will be right at the line to gain for the first down. We will see where they spot him.
First down.
And they move the chains. Great run from Jacobs to keep this drive alive.
Great patience by Jacobs. Talking to the offensive coordinator before the game, he said Jacobs really takes over in the second half. First half, he kind of fills it out. In the second half, he takes over. So far, seems like what's going to happen tonight.
1st and 10 at the 49. 2 receivers to the left on the short side. Single wide out to the right. That's Regenbald. Mulliman in the pistol. Jacobs behind and to his right. Turn, hands to Jacobs. He puts his foot in the ground, trying to get to the left edge. He will get around the corner, but only picking up 3 or 4 on the carry. And it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Polar Bears. 9:48 left in the third quarter, all tied up at 7.
That time he had to bounce it outside because there was no hole to run to, but he's patient and trying to let his blockers develop instead of just bouncing it right now. So it's different when you have to bounce it as opposed to looking to bounce right now. That time he had to bounce, and it was a great job recognizing it. He got outside to the edge and got 4 on the first down.
2nd and 6 at the Glenoak 47. Mulliman in the backfield with Jacobs. Play action to Jacobs. Throw it over on the left side. Caught across the 40 and then pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That was Rocco Norch with the reception for the Polar Bears, and another first down for Jackson.
Little bubble screen to the 2-man side, the short side of the field, to the sideline away from us. The point wide receiver got a great block on the cornerback and was able to spring the inside receiver for a big gain to get the first down.
1st and 10, 9:42 left. 2 receivers to the short side left, 2 to the right. Now man in motion from right to left. And we're going to have a penalty marker and a false start on Jackson. So false start pushes Jackson back to the 43-yard line.
Have a great drive going. Just get the first down for the third.
Two to the wide side right. Mulliman takes. He rolls out to the right. Throws downfield and just overthrew his intended receiver. He was looking for Cowles. And just rolling out, just let that one fly and sailed high.
Yeah, and there really wasn't much separation with the receiver and defensive back anyway. So even if he does get it to him, I think the defensive back can make a play on the ball.
So 2nd and 15 at the Glenoak 43-yard line. 9:37 left in the third quarter. Mulliman in the pistol. 2 receivers tight on the right-hand side. Mulliman back to pass. He's looking. Nothing happening. Starts to roll out to his left. Lobs it down. It's caught at the 30. Cutting back towards midfield at the 20. 15. And finally brought down at the 6-yard line. 15-yard line. That was Rocco Norch with the reception. And puts Jackson in the RG Drag red zone. Now they're going hurry up. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Mulliman checks with the sidelines. Nice run after catch for Norch, putting them inside the RG Drag red zone. Mulliman takes a snap, fakes it, throws, caught at the 5-yard line. Battling down to the 3-yard line was Max Cowles. I lied. That was Rocco Norch again. And they will have it now 2nd and there's a first down. So 1st and goal at the 3 for Jackson. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs. He bounces it over the left-hand side, does not get into the end zone. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be 2nd and goal with 8:35 left in the third quarter.
Jacobs trying to bounce it outside to the left side. He's able to pick up a couple yards, Not enough to get the pay dirt, but at least he got positive yards to get close to the end zone on the second down play.
So 2nd and goal at the 1, still in the pistol. They've got 2 wingbacks to the left and a false start on Jackson. I believe that was the right guard who jumped early. And now it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. Jackson finds a way to get these long drives and get into good positions, and then they have a silly mistake that puts them behind the chains a little bit.
Yep. Self-inflicted wounds.
So they check with the sidelines. 2nd and goal from the 6. Tight trips bunch on the left. They turn. Play action. Molman's rolling out to his right. Throws it into the back of the end zone and almost intercepted. What an incredible play by the defender going up and getting a hand on that, preventing the touchdown. He came down hard.
I thought he had that.
I did too.
I thought he picked it. Great play on the ball.
I can't see the number of the player down. That was George Cabaridis, the 5'10", 155-pound senior who skied to get a finger on that football. Great defense, makes it 3rd and 6.
Yes, that Glenoak secondary continues to impress me with their coverage. That time he goes up, high points the ball, almost comes down with it, sacrifices his body to be able to make the play for his defense. Great job.
So a big 3rd down for both teams, all tied up at 7. Glenoak 7, Jackson 7. This is the opening drive of the 3rd quarter for the Polar Bears. They've taken a nice chunk of time off the clock, and Glenoak wants to leave them disappointed. 3rd and 6. Mulliman takes the snap. He looks, fade route to the left corner, up, and touchdown Jackson.
What a ball.
That was Gino Seismansky who brought that one in for the touchdown. Great defense, too. They fought for that football. But Jackson with the touchdown.
Yeah, great placement by the quarterback. Great concentration by the wide receiver. Good coverage by the cornerback out there. Could have made a play on the ball, but the wide receiver outfought him for the ball, able to find pay dirt.
And the extra point from Missouri is up, and it is good. 7:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jackson takes the lead, 14-7. We'll be right back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is head coach Jay Rohr from the Jackson Polar Bears. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field at Glenoak High School. The Jackson Polar Bears lead 14-7. They took the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, length of the field, 80 yards, and into the end zone for the score.
Very impressive drive start this half by Jackson.
And Missouri's kickoff will be fielded at the 5-yard line, across the 10, 15, 20. He's got a seam up the middle, 25, 30, 35, all the way down to the 40-yard line. A great return from Glenoak.
Great return. Only really one guy to beat. I think if he keeps that to his left, he might be in a foot race with the kicker to get to the end zone. But great job by that return team, getting a hat on the hat. Great vision by the return man and getting it almost to midfield.
Not see a number at all. Great return by that young man, whoever you are. Nice return. 1st and 10 for Glenoak at the 40, and they hand it off to McClendon over the right-hand side. He gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. They go back to having Connor Wilson in at quarterback after having all the success with Rozier in the late in that second quarter. They come back in with Wilson.
Yeah, that time Glenoak went 4-man side, 3 receivers, and the wing back to the left side, but tried to run it to the weak side, to the right side, and Jackson sniffed it out and was able to make a play at the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and 10 at the Glenoak 40-yard line. Connor Wilson with McClendon lined up to his left, 2 receivers to the left, single wide out right. Glenoak moving from right to left. Wilson back to pass, throws the slant. Too far,
but he had him.
And that falls incomplete, intended for Cadron Saunders, the 6 foot, 150-pound junior. And it sets up a 3rd and long for Glenoak. I mean, if you don't gain any yards or pick up a first down or have a substantial drive, I would immediately go back to Rozier.
Go back to the Wildcat. Yep. Go back to the Wildcat.
So 3rd and 10 at the 40. McClendon to the right of Wilson. 3 receivers to the wide side left. They move McClendon in motion out of the backfield. They swing that to him, and it a little bit too far in front, and that falls incomplete. And a 3 and out for Glenoak to start the 3rd quarter for them. And on comes the punting unit with 6:54 left. Like, Jackson had the ball for a good 5 minutes to start that 3rd quarter, and
Don't had the ball for exactly 1 minute that drive. Exactly 1 minute.
And now Jackson's in the spot where if they can establish a run game, they can just start eating clock away.
Yep.
So the snap back for the punt, and a good punt, bounces and will be downed by Glenoak at the 21-yard line. So Jackson will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Glenoak had a lot of success in that first half with that swing pass to the running back with DeMarlo at quarterback, and we're going to see what we can do.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only drive that they had success
at any
on.
life.
Yeah.
Any life.
So Jackson with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Mulliman back to pass, throws it out into the left sideline, caught at the 24, and then plows ahead and runs the defender over. I believe that was Zamansky with the reception, picking up 8 on the catch and run, and it'll be 2nd and 2.
Let's have Jackson starting to run some clear out routes with the number 2 receiver and just running just basic stop routes or quick routes to the number 1 receiver and getting a lot of success on it so far.
And there's going to be a penalty on this play, a blatant hold as they swing it out to Cows in the little bubble screen to Cows, but definitely a hold. So that's going to push Jackson back. You know, again, you have a great play on 1st down, and now a needless penalty that's going to push them back.
3rd time this half already where they have a good play, but it's negated by a penalty the following play.
Let's jump into the scoreboard here real quick. Tuslaw 7, Northwest 13, 11-24 left in that ball game. It's a big game for both all these games. Once you get to like 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep, they all matter, man. What's going on?
The officials are discussing.
I'll let it go back to the spot to walk it off.
Yeah.
We just can't see where 10 yards are at.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 19. Mulliman in the shotgun with Jacobs. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs. He's going to try to get to the edge and will not get there. Be brought down at the line of scrimmage. So can the Glenoak defense now do what they need to do to get their offense back on? It seems like their defense has constantly stepped up to the plate where they needed to get a ball back.
They've been playing great so far. I mean, Glenoak's defense has been playing the lights out.
So 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Jackson 14, Glenoak 7. It's 3rd and 12 from the Jackson 19-yard line. They send 2 receivers to the wide side on the right. Two to the short left. Mulliman back to pass. He's got pressures. Throw this one and just airmails this over everybody, and it falls incomplete. So the Glenoak defense did what they needed to do, getting the 3 and out and forcing the punting unit for Jackson to come onto the field with 5:40 left in the third.
This half, Glenoak's bringing a little more pressure in those longer downs. First half, they were playing all drop 8, putting 8 guys in coverage, only rushing 3. That time they rushed 5. Was able to make Mulliman uncomfortable enough to where he was off the mark on that pass.
Hairston back deep to return for Glenoak. He takes it at the 48, makes 2 men miss. Oh, man, if he would have been able to get to the edge, you might have seen a really nice return from Hairston, but he avoids the first 2 defenders and gets Glenoak across midfield. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40. What are they going to spot him? 48-yard line.
Wildcat. Yeah, Wildcat.
Let's see who they have out there at quarterback. I can't.
Looks like they're going Wildcat.
Yeah, there we go. Man in motion now from left to right. And Rozier takes it himself right up the middle, picking up 7 yards on the carry. I just don't think Jackson has seen that enough either for their defense to know how to react to it.
Right, especially when you have jet motions, you have guys shifting, and then you have to account for the quarterback run too. I mean, that's a lot for a defense to process on the fly. And hats off to Rozier just being patient, letting the blocks develop, and he's running north and south and getting chunks of yards.
So they give him 6 on the carry, 2nd and 4 at the Jackson 42-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, man in motion, and they fake it to him again. Rozier keeps it himself over the left-hand side, has enough to pick up the first down, falling forward across the 35 down to the 34-yard line, and a late penalty. Bunch of penalties come flying in.
Looks like they might be offsetting, though.
This game's starting to get a little chippy.
Bit. A lot riding on it.
So the officials are going to talk this one over.
Yep, I figured.
So the penalties took place after the play, so the first down will stand, and no penalty yards attached either way.
The ball spotted at the Jackson 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the 35, 4:44 left in the third quarter. Jackson leads 14-7. I'm Ryan Keller. This is Antonio Hall. Thank you for joining us tonight on Q92 Sports and on the Q92 Radio TikTok. As Rozier takes it, hands it off to McClendon over the right-hand side, trying to get to the edge, gets across the 30-yard line, down to the 29 is where they'll spot. No, they're going to spot him at the 30.
But you can see that second gear. I mean, you saw as soon as he hit that edge, that second gear kick in. If he could just beat that one more guy, he's off to the races.
Just think if he gets a crease up the middle, too, and just beats a linebacker, all he's got then is a safety.
And he's a big fella, so it's going to be hard for that safety.
Yeah. There. Rozier in the Wildcat for Glenoak, 2nd and 5. Man in motion now from right to left. They fake it to him. Rozier keeps it himself. Another first down for Glenoak.
I love the way this kid runs the ball. I mean, he just gets north and south. He presses the hole. He follows his blockers. He's patient. He has a low center of gravity. He's always falling forward on contact. I mean, this kid's only a sophomore.
And he runs. He runs and kind of reminds me of Kylan West. Mm-hmm. They have the same vision, same explosiveness.
Yep. He don't have Kylan's speed, but he has.
No, I don't know if many people have Kylan's speed. So Rozier fakes. He's back to pass. He's going to throw this one, and it's off the 10-yard line by the tight end.
Yeah, we have a Glenoak player down.
So the incompletion makes it second and 10. Oh, we'll just turn that down a little bit. You always got to be careful with the crowd mic.
I hear you. But man, great pass right on the numbers. For a Wildcat quarterback to deliver a ball on the run like that was impressive too.
2nd and 10 at the 22. Low snap. Rozier picks it up off his shoestrings. Is just going to run it himself over to the left-hand side. Gets across the 20 inside the RG Drag red zone down to the 19-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 7 for Glenoak with 2:48 left in the third quarter, and Jackson leading 14-7.
To me, I'm not changing anything up. This is 4th down territory, so I'm going to just keep running my Wildcat. I'm going to get what I can get on 3rd down. Hopefully it's at least half, and then I'm going to go for it on 4th down.
So now they bring in Wilson, the starting quarterback, Connor Wilson, the sophomore, now in at the quarterback position on 3rd and 7 from the 19. McClendon lined up to his left. 2 receivers and a tight to the right. They play action. Wilson's looking to run. He had nowhere to throw, and he's down across the 10, 5, diving for the pylon. And into the end zone for the touchdown. Connor Wilson. Oh, they say he stepped out at the 10.
Give it to him.
It's weird though because the line judge on this side on the sideline was the one.
That's his call to make.
So great effort from Wilson. Does pick up the first down. So it's 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Great effort.
With 2:08 left in the third quarter.
Great effort by Wilson right there.
Wilson in the shotgun takes, hands it off to McClendon. McClendon drilled. Coming up and making a huge hit. I think that was number 58. And they say Keegan Stanley coming up and making the tackle. There is an injury on the field.
Player down.
And while they tend to him, we're going to step away and take a quick break. 1:57 left in the third quarter. Jackson 14, Glenoak 7. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Start your day right at Judy's Family Restaurant, your new favorite spot for home-style breakfast and friendly faces. We're locally owned and operated with a team that brings you years of experience to every plate. Whether you're craving fluffy pancakes, sizzling bacon, or a hot cup of coffee, we've got you covered. Come taste the difference at Judy's Family Restaurant. Call 234-360-3096 and follow us on Facebook for daily specials and updates. Judy's, where breakfast feels like home.
Buying a home is one of the biggest investments you will make in your lifetime. Joanna Belden with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services has proven time and time again that she is that someone. Working with the Belden Group of Joanna Belden and Cindy Ehrenholt with over $30 million in volume sold in 2024, you can feel confident knowing that you're in the best of hands. Call Joanna at 330-309-2343 or Cindy Ehrenholt at 330-268-5063 or find them both at howardhanna.com.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And we are back here at Bob Cummings Field. I think we've got a little bit of a serious situation on the field right now. I do not know who the player is that is down, but they are bringing the backboard out onto the field. A lot of medical people right now surrounding this young man. We hope and wish him the best. They immediately ran to the sideline and got the medical bag and quickly called for the backboard and the stretcher. And I believe they're going to pull the ambulance onto the field to get this young man help as quickly as they can. Again, I do not know who it is. I did not see the injury happen. Just trying to describe what we're seeing right now on the field.
There's at least about 12 people surrounding the young man right now. All you prayer warriors out there, get to work.
And let's ask you, a coach. You've been a coach in this situation. Like, how do you what's running through your mind? Obviously, your first thought is the well-being of.
And that's the only thought.
Yeah.
That's the only thought is just, you put things in perspective that, the health and safety of your young men is the number one priority and concern as a coach. And, the biggest thing is, you want to keep yourself poised. You want to keep your team poised. But ultimately, you want to make sure that that young man's getting the care and treatment he needs.
So, again, we do not know who the young man is. A quick response by all the medical personnel
Great job
who were out onto the field. They quickly were able to assess the situation, ran over back to the sideline, grabbed their medical bag, immediately called for the backboard and the stretcher. So great response from them people, just wishing the best for this young man. And as soon as we are able to get some more information, we will indeed deliver that to you as they now put him on the stretcher.
And you see the strength in the football community because both sidelines are taking a knee. Both sidelines are huddled up with their guys, praying. This is what makes, Stark County football, the Federal League, so special because, yes, we're intense rivals on the field, but ultimately we're football brothers. And, you're supported by the brotherhood, especially
at Bob Cummings Field here at Glenoak, like looking for a thumbs up or something to see if we can see it. I think we did get the thumbs up, so that's a good sign.
Right.
That's always something you like to see, but we'll see if we can get some more information from you. Again, I do not have any idea who the young man was. We did not see a jersey number.
You can't see any jersey number.
Correct, we can't. But wishing him the best, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. But, man, it's always hard. And now let's go back to, as a coach, you still have a game to play. How do you get back and try to get your team remotivated?
Exactly. The biggest thing is telling your guys that, their teammates in great hands, and the best thing you can do right now is go out here, execute a high level, and win this football game for them.
All right, so we are back to action. Second and goal from the 11-yard line. Back to pass, throwing, and just missing a wide open receiver. And that will fall incomplete, and it'll be third down now. Glenoak, third and goal from the 11-yard line. 1:50 remaining in the third quarter.
As soon as they got that first down, I would have went right back to the Wildcat because Jackson has not stopped it yet tonight. Not at all.
So back to third and goal from the 11-yard line.
Big play right here.
1:50 remaining in the third quarter. They break the huddle. Connor Wilson in at quarterback, McClendon to his right.
Oh,
and
we're all ties. Timeout.
And Glenoak will take a timeout. So this timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. I wonder if I can hop over somewhere to try to find out who that was. Yeah.
Text keeper too.
Yeah, you know everybody.
I just know one or two people, man.
1 or 2,000. I'm like, hey, Tone, I want to. Can we talk to this person? Yeah, man. Let me text them right now.
I don't waste time, man. Got too much stuff to do. I do it in real time.
All right. So third and goal from the 11-yard line. Sorry, that was my eyes. I usually move my microphone away, and third and 11.
I can get the full effect here in the booth.
Right. Wilson still in at quarterback for Glenoak. They shift the tight end from left to right. Now Hairston moves the motion from left to right. Wilson rolling out to his right. He's got I don't know if it looked like it slipped out of his hands, but that was a really bad throw.
I think threw with his opposite hand on that.
He had He had Hairston open. He could have probably run that in himself, too. He had a wall of blockers. But a fourth down now, and Glenoak will send the kicking unit out onto the field.
Try and narrow that gap, make it a 4-point game.
And this is Sean Leahy. A 28-yard field goal attempt. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is good. 28-yard field goal attempt from Leahy goes through the uprights.
Could have made that from 48.
And Glenoak cuts into the lead.
That was a great kick.
14-10, 141 remaining in the third quarter. We're going to step away and take a break. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Missed the big game? Don't worry, Q92 has you covered. Check out our SoundCloud page where you can relive every exciting moment. From high school football, basketball, baseball, and softball to Mount Union football and basketball, we've got it all. That's every broadcast from this season, and even classics going all the way back to 2016. Follow Q92 Radio on SoundCloud and never miss a play, a call, or the thrill of the game. Q92 Radio on SoundCloud, your home for every game, every season.
This is head coach Jay Rohr from the Jackson Polar Bears. You're listening to high school football on the Q92 Sports Network.
Welcome back to Bob Cummings Field. Glenoak with the 28-yard field goal by Sean Leahy, and they cut into that Jackson lead. It's now 14. From Glenoak, but Glenoak runs up and kicks off. Be fielded at the 8-yard line, across the 20, down the left hash, and is stood up at the 28-yard line, where Jackson will start this drive, 1st and 10.
This Glenoak defense has been playing very stingy tonight. They just were able to put their offense in a good position to score. They went down and scored. Now Glenoak's defense has to come out, try to get Jackson off the field sooner than later and keep that offensive momentum going for this Glenoak sideline.
So 1:31 left in the third. It's 1st and 10 for Jackson. Mulliman takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Jacobs. Jacobs immediately tries to bounce it out to the right, now tries to cut it back in. He will pick up a few yards.
Corey Jacobs, the ball.
Looks like somebody on that Jackson right side of the line got away with a little bit of a hold. But, hey, sometimes that happens.
And Glenoak was trying to say that was their football. But it is Jackson ball. 6 yards on the carry for Jacobs. 2nd and 4 now from the 35.
Jackson lines up in a 2-by-2. Inside receiver motions to the left.
And he's got room across the 45, 50, 45, 40. Great run from Jacobs, finally getting some space. And you can really see once he gets a little bit of an opening, he's got some speed behind him.
Yep, but he hit the B gap that time with a full head of steam, kept it between the tackles, and it paid dividends. Great pickup, was able to get all the way to the Glenoak 38-yard line. Great play by Jackson that time.
So 1st and 10, 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Mulliman hands off to Jacob. Oh, he keeps it himself over the right-hand side across the 35-30, all the way down to the 25-yard line. Another first down for Jackson.
And that's a great job recognizing that backside end has been crashing all night because they haven't ran any read plays. Now run the read because you know that backside is going to be wide open, and it was. Great recognition right there by Mulliman.
See if they get this playoff before the half. 5 seconds remaining. Mulliman takes it. They do. And little miscommunication, and he's just going to throw this one away. A couple penalty markers coming in. That was a confusing play. Mulliman went to hand it off to Jacobs and then went to pull it. and then started to run and then just threw it out of bounds. So we'll see what they end up calling here.
Can't be intentional grounding because there was a wide receiver out there. Unless it was a legal man downfield.
Yeah, I don't know if they
play.
thought it was a run or what was going on there. It was an eligible man downfield. They declined the penalty. And then there was a hold on Jackson as well. So that's going to push them back 10 yards. And
Jackson has a little bit of the penalty bug tonight. And end the quarter on a penalty.
So we'll have one untimed down. It's 1st and 20 from the 35-yard line. So Mulliman in the shotgun by himself. He's empty. 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. He takes the snap. He's back to pass. He's looking, throws it on a drag route, and that's going to be dropped by Jacobs, and that's going to be the end of the first half. Jackson leads 14-10. Fourth quarter action when we come back. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92Radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92Radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field. Fourth quarter action just about to get underway. Jackson leads Glenoak 14-10. And Jackson has it 2nd and 20 from the Glenoak 35-yard line as they break the huddle from the sideline. 3 receivers to the wide side left. 1 to the short right, moving right to left. With the way that pass interference has been called, that should have been PI.
Well, I see why the ref didn't call it, because the defensive back is going through the receiver to make a play on the ball. So the ball's in the air. It's anybody's ball. The defender has just every right to make a play on the ball as the wide receiver does. He happened to go through his arm that time, but the ref missed it.
So the incompletion brings up 3rd and 20. We do have another injury on the field for Glenoak as the medical staff goes out to check on him.
Jackson, another 3rd and long situation. He's sitting up. That's a good sign.
So 11:54 left in the ball game, just underway in the fourth quarter here, and he does make his way up to his feet.
Eagle number 77.
That was number 77, Donnell Hampton, the 5'11", 280-pound senior.
Yeah, nose guard for the Eagles. He's about double the size of what his dad was, and his dad was an amazing nose guard for Kent McKinley a couple of years after I graduated. But the Hampton family is known to play good defensive line play.
So 3rd and 20. I imagine Jackson's just going to try to get some of this back and maybe try a field goal of their own. Mulliman back to pass. He's got pressure coming off the edge. Drops it off to Jacobs. Jacobs out of the backfield across the 40. Gets to the 30-yard line. Still trying to get to the edge. Finally gets out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
Good pursuit by Glenoak that time, keeping everything in front of them. Then they had guys rally to the ball. Jacobs was able to make one guy miss, but 3 other defenders were right there to make sure he doesn't get any further towards that field goal.
So they are bringing the field goal unit out onto the field for a 45-yarder. Cooper Mazier on to attempt a 45-yard field goal. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and that's going to be short. And wide right. Seems like he's trying to make sure it gets over the line. I think if he would just drive it like he would on his kickoff,
right,
he'd be able to put it through. But he's trying to make sure he elevates it over the line of scrimmage. But the missed field goal gives Glenoak the football, 1st and 10 at the 20. We'll see what kind of offense they run out with now, if they're going to go with the Wildcat.
Go.
And they've got Connor Wilson back out there at quarterback. So Glenoak moving from left to right. 1st and 10 from their 20. 3 receivers to the right, single wide out left. Wilson back to pass. He's looking. Oh, boy, he throws that one over into the left side and completely missed the receiver, and it was almost picked off. That was right into the hands of the defender.
Yeah, good job that time by the running back coming back to the ball and getting his hands on the defender so he couldn't come down with that interception. Quarterback was way off the mark that time, trying to throw a basic swing route. Let's see if he can settle down a little bit and just get the ball to his guys.
And we'll jump into the scoreboards here or there, and we have a final. Boy, that game went fast.
Man.
Northwest 13, Tuslaw 12, final.
Wow.
As Wilson takes it, swings it to McClendon into the right side. Caught, breaks one tackle, but then followed by 3 defenders from Jackson. So McClendon only picks up 1 on the reception, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
That play worked a couple times in the first quarter, but has not worked since. Jackson's able to sniff out those swing routes by the running back, covering up pretty tight, but Glenoak's still trying to force the issue to see if they can do a little bit more vertical concepts in their passing game.
3rd and 9 from their own 21. 3 receivers to the left, single wide out to the short right. Wilson back to pass. He's looking. Now he's just going to tuck it and run on the right side himself, and then decides to throw, and it's caught. Picking up the 1st down. That was number 14, Kadron Saunders, and a good heads-up play by the young quarterback.
Great play. I mean, he got right to the line of scrimmage, hit the Fred Flintstone, toe tap, hit it right there, and was able to keep his eyes downfield and deliver a good ball. Good job.
So 1st and 10 now at the 39, 10:40 left in the game. They turn, hand it to McClendon. McClendon turns upfield, gets 3, and is stopped. Height for Jackson coming through, making the tackle. They're actually going to give him 2 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Glenoak running counter to our sideline. Not getting a lot, but you got positive yards, and you're still making Jackson have to play you honest. You've been passing the ball, they're running the ball, so Jackson's offense has to honor the run game still.
10 minutes left in the ball game. 2nd and 7 at the 42. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the wide side left. Wilson back to pass, little comeback route, caught at the sidelines and just falling out of bounds. Right where he caught it was Justin Johnson, the senior receiver.
Good pitch and catch and a little hitch play right there. Almost getting to the 1st down. He got 2 yards to get on this 3rd down play, approaching midfield.
3rd and 2 now at the 47. Send 3 receivers to the wide side left, 2 to the short right. Wilson by himself in the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass. Hits the tight end across midfield. 1st down to the 44-yard line of Jackson. A good drive from this young quarterback now.
Yeah, he really does look good these past 3 plays. The first play, that little swing route, he was off the mark, but since then, he's delivered some strikes, and he's keeping his eyes downfield as he's starting to feel some pressure, not getting rattled by the footsteps around him. Good job.
So 1st and 10 now at the Jackson 44-yard line. And they're easy throws and catches, too. They're not making him try to do too much with it.
Yep, that's it. Just get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them create.
So they go empty again. 3 receivers to the wide side right, 2 to the short left. Wilson back to pass. They hit the comeback route again across the 40, down to the 39-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 5.
Yep, right now they're hitting a soft spot between the linebacker and the safety. They're having 3 guys to one side, 2 to the left, and really the linebacker is outstretched from the box, so he's not used to covering guys in space out there. So before he can get over there, they're hitting that number 2 or number 3 receiver right there on the outside of the box. And so far, it's worked out well this drive for him.
Could be setting up a little hitch and go as well. 2nd and 5 on the Jackson 39. 3 receivers to the short side right, 2 to the wide side left. Now man in motion from left to right. And a low snap. Wilson has to bend down to pick it up. Now he's got pressure, and he's going to be sacked.
Can't do that.
That was Jackson's number 48. Reese Myers taking down Wilson across midfield down to the Glenoak 49. There is a penalty marker on the play.
To the face mask?
And the flag sitting at the Jackson 45. So that was a holding penalty that Jackson declines. So now it sets up a 3rd and 17 from the Glenoak 49 with 8:28 left in the game.
Wilson tried to do a little bit too much that play, rolling out to his left and try to reverse field and come back to his right, but the defender was sitting right there, and he was taken down for a big loss.
So empty backfield for Wilson. He's back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's got to step in. He's going to go down again. Jackson with back-to-back sacks, and their defense turning it up and forcing Glenoak to bring the punting unit onto the field with 8 minutes left in the game. Clock running. It's 4th and 24.
Bringing heat that time on defense. Jackson was able to get the blitz home and really stall this drive out. But prior to those 2 sacks, I mean, Glenoak was in a great rhythm.
Snap back, punt away. Leahy, nice high punt, taken at the 25. Jumps it over, man, trying to get to back to the 30. And that was Max Cowles with the return. And Jackson will have the ball 1st and 10 right at the 30-yard line.
Big play right here by Jackson's offense. If anything, just try to eat up a lot of clock like you did that first drive in the half. Flip the field, maybe get another try at 3. But what you don't want to do is come off the field quickly right here when Glenoak seemed to be getting some things going in their passing game and with their offense.
Jumping to the scoreboard real quick. McKinley 24, Lake 21, 1:33 left in the 4th quarter. Lake is kicking to McKinley. They had just scored. Got some more scores we'll get to here in a minute. 1st and 10 at the 28 for Jackson. Mulliman in the shotgun, turns, hands it off to Jacobs. He cuts it back right up the middle, makes another man miss across the 40, down to the 45, falling forward to the 46-yard line. A great run from Corey Jacobs.
He's the kind of guy who gets better as the game goes on, and good running backs do that. They get better as the game progresses. And he's really finding his way as a converted running back these last few weeks of the season.
So that takes them out to the Jackson 46-yard line. 7 minutes left in the game. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs behind him. 2 receivers to the left. Turn, hand it off to Jacobs. Jacobs right up the middle, across midfield, continuing to pow forward, picking up another 1st down, gain of 11 on that carry, and takes him to the 43-yard line of Glenoak.
Last 2 plays, you said Jacobs right up the middle, and he got double-digit gains on both those.
Yeah.
So, again, if he continues to just bang it up in there, he's going to get yardage.
Let's jump into the scoreboard. Another final coming in. Minerva 7, Marlington nothing. The Minerva Lions picking up a big victory for them tonight. We got 1st and 10. Mulliman takes, hands off to Jacobs. Now he's going to try to bend this one to the right side. He's got room across the 35, 30, 25, 20, all the way down to the RG Drag red zone. Jacobs, another huge run, and he should be close to, if not over, 100 yards rushing here tonight for the 6th consecutive week.
6th week. Had another Glenoak player down. Injury, timeout.
We'll jump into the scoreboard again. Hoover 35, Perry 21. West Branch 34, Alliance 21. Start of the 4th quarter there. Green 27, Louisville 14. Hunka with an 18-yard touchdown pass to Reed. 4:49 remaining in that game. That text came in a little while ago, so that might be close to coming to a final. Another injury here at Glenoak.
It's been the night for it.
And he gets up and walks off the field on his own power. That's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any word on who the injured player might have been?
I did not.
No.
Not yet. I guess they're all coaching right now.
Got jokes. Got jokes. You're like, don't you know how important Antonio Hall is?
I don't care about your play call. Answer my text.
Coach Garcia, go back to the Wildcat. 1st and 10 at the 20. Mulliman takes, hands off to Jacobs. Again, right up the middle. He'll fall forward after a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 now in the RG Drag red zone. 6 minutes remaining in the game.
Tick, tick, tick. That's what you're going to see for Jackson. See those seconds tick off that clock.
I look how cool the moon looks out there tonight.
I was just thinking that. It looks really cool tonight.
Little harvest moon. 2nd and 9 from the 19. 5:40 left in the game. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs to his right. Man in motion now from left to right. That says Mansky. They turn, hand it off to Jacobs. He's going to bend this one out to the left side across the 15 down to the, I'm going to mark him at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down. Rozier with the stop, and then a big 3rd down.
Big 3rd down. Rozier's having a big game tonight on both sides of the ball to be a sophomore.
Clock continuing to run. 5:05 left in the game. Mulliman in the shotgun. Jacobs to his right. And they'll check with the sideline. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Mulliman takes, hands off to Jacobs, and he was initially stopped, but the momentum from the defender took them forward across the 10-yard line.
Can't give him enough for the 1st down.
The ball spotted at the Glenoak 9-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 9. 4:35 now remaining in the game.
It's been a great drive so far. Great 4-minute offense by Jackson. Keeping the ball on the ground, eating up clock, eating up a bunch of yards. Let's hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot like they've done the past few drives once they get down towards the red zone.
Yeah, they need to hurry up. 4 seconds on the play clock. Mulliman gets it off in time, hands it off to Jacobs, but Glenoak's defense was there. That's going to be a loss on the carry. He will lose, looks like 3 yards.
Yeah, that time the play looked rushed because they were trying to get the ball off before the play clock ran out, and it just didn't look like that play could get developed for some reason.
So 2nd and goal from the 13. Got another score update. Alliance scores. West Branch 34, Alliance 28. 8:19 left in the 4th quarter.
Oh, it's still a game, baby.
Well, you told Sam it'd be like 54-52.
Yep. Getting out of there at 11 o'clock tonight.
That's what he said. He's like almost 200. Slant route, and there's the flag. That's going to be pass interference on Glenoak. The receiver, Gino Szymanski, had a step on the defender, and that's going to be half the distance to the goal line and an automatic 1st down for Jackson with 3:22 left in the game.
Yeah, the defender got separate. A receiver got separation on the defender. The defender had to reach out the last second, try to make a play, so he did score a touchdown, and obvious pass interference right there.
That game. So a big 3rd down between McKinley and Lake. Keep you updated as more information comes in from that game.
McKinley will get it because they got 5 horses in the backfield they can give it to on those 2 downs, and they'll get it. Trust me.
So 1st and goal from the 6-yard line for Jackson. Mulliman takes, and hands off to Jacobs. Jacobs trying to bounce it outside, lost his footing, and by the time he got up, the rest of Glenoak was there. Another loss on the carry. He will lose 4 yards, and it'll take him back to the 10, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it was a big play right there for that Glenoak defense. Him. Now that puts him behind the chains, 2nd and 9, 2:45 left in this fourth quarter. Let's see what Jackson does.
And it looks like Jackson's just going to let this time run out and maybe take a timeout here. They got 5 seconds on the play clock and no one's standing around the ball. And that's indeed what they're going to do. So they're going to stop the clock. 2:30. Third over there, but it says 2nd on the play clock or on the scoreboard. Should be 2nd down.
It should be.
So it'll be 2nd 9, 2:32 remaining in the ball game.
So you do Glenoak a little favor and stop the clock. So Glenoak comes out here and gets a stop on their 2nd down. That gives them an opportunity to maybe get the ball back with a nice chunk of time on the clock in a 1-score game.
This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Jackson back out onto the field, sends 3 receivers to the wide side right. And doing a hard count, and they this time they get hit with the and Jackson trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 10. 2:32 left in the game. Mulliman takes it. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got pressure coming from the backside. I don't think he knows it's there. He throws it up into the end zone. It's down. Wow. What catch. Mulliman pressured from his backside, rolling out to his right. Throws that up into the end zone. He had 2 receivers from Jackson there. Coming down with it was Micah Regenball. And Jackson strikes with 2:25 left in the game.
Great job by that receiver going up and high pointing that ball and coming down with it in the back corner of the end zone. Great job, great concentration, great hand.
Missouri on to kick the extra point, and it is up, and it is good. 2:25 left in the ball game. Jackson strikes 21-10. Got another score coming in. Final. Green 27, Louisville 14.
Green got it. Okay. 2 in a row.
It's a big win for Green.
Big win, man.
Where are they at in the computer rankings? Let's see here. Division 2. Huh. I don't know where they're at. Let's do some more research. We'll let you know. They're Division 2. They're in the same as Perry, right?
Should
Are they
be.
in Division 5 or Region 5?
I thought they were in the same one as Perry.
Let's see. Oh, there they are. Oh, boy, they were 20th.
Man.
Yeah. So, but they're going to get a lot of points from that Louisville. So the run-up and the kickoff will go into the end zone, and Glenoak will have it 1st and 10 from the 20. Yeah, that Green team has been kind of an enigma this year because they've been really good, and a lot of their losses have been 1 point, 2 points, one score here, one score there. They lost one game by 7. They lost another game by 1. They lost another game by 6. They lost another game by 3. The only game that they really got blown out of was that McKinley game, 21-3. But that win against Louisville is a big win for the Green Bulldogs.
Huge.
2:24 left in the game. Glenoak with the football. Wilson back to pass, throws it out towards the sidelines. That is caught and pushed out of bounds was R.J. Hairston. And picking up 6 on the reception. But the most important thing is the clock stops at 2:20.
Yep. And roll out pass to the sideline, getting your wide receiver running towards the sideline. So when he catches it, he goes right out of bounds. Great execution right there by Glenoak.
Not a score update, but Alliance has the ball with 4:44 left. West Branch leads 34-28. Wilson takes the snap here, rolling out to his left, and he's just going to get pressured and thrown down. Jackson's defense coming up big right there, and it looks like Wilson is down on the field. And the medical staff running out to help him. And this is going to force their hand to the Wildcat situation.
Looks like.
He got hit and thrown really, really hard to the ground right there. It might be one of those cases where the back of the head hits off the turf. Just speculating again, it's on the far side of the field from where we are at. But again, quick response from the medical personnel here. Actually, the Jackson side were first to jump out there and to check on the young man, and that is Connor Wilson, who is down.
Man, that's like the 5th guy that's gone down tonight for Glenoak.
So we'll check in and got a final coming in. Perry 21, Hoover 35 final. McKinley is forced to punt and then picks off Lake. Final score, McKinley 24, Lake 21.
Still undefeated in the Federal League.
That win actually guaranteed them at least a share of the Federal League. The only other team that could potentially tie them now, I believe, is Hoover, because that's Lake's second loss.
Yep.
They lost to Jackson last week.
Yep.
And now they lost to McKinley. Hoover is victorious over Perry. And then you've got Hoover and Lake going up against one another next week.
Yep.
Jackson only has 1 loss in the Federal League, correct?
I think so.
I believe so. They beat Green. They lost to Perry. They beat Lake. They're beating Glenoak. So Jackson can play spoiler next week against McKinley, and that game can be heard on Q92, 92.5, also on the Q92 Facebook and Q92 X page, as well as the Q92 radio YouTube.
All over the place.
It will be all over the place. And Hoover has Lake next week. That's going to be a tough game as well.
Sure is.
Those are 2 programs who remind me a lot of each other. Very physical, hard-nosed.
Big up front.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see. They're still tending to Wilson as he gets up, and they help him off the field on his own power. But he's definitely, you can tell he definitely took a shot.
Right. Just glad he's up and okay.
So 2:06 remaining in the ball game. It's going to be 3rd and 12, and the quarterback for Glenoak is making his way off to the field with some assistance. And I'm going to bet it is probably a concussion by how he's, like, his legs look fine, but like he's not limping.
Moving slow, yeah. He's still moving slow.
So 2:06 left in the game, 3rd and 12 at the Glenoak 18-yard line. And they take the snap, back to pass. And he's going to step up in the pocket, looks to run. He's going to get brought down. A great open field tackle from Jackson. Can't see. That was number 45, Jared Kaiser. And Glenoak's going to have to punt with 4th and 15.
Well, this game was a lot closer than what I anticipated, man. I mean, hats off to Glenoak. Homecoming, they played them tough. Defense played lights out all game. Offense showed some glimpses of life, more so than what I've seen in the past. So, Glenoak is still getting better as the season moves along.
And the punt away from Glenoak, a knuckleball, will hit and take a good bounce and continue to roll. And I think it might have hit Max Cowell's foot, and he just had to dive on top of it.
Heads up play.
So Jackson will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line with 1:13 left. And I don't believe Glenoak will call any timeouts, but who knows?
I don't know, man. I've known Scott to call a timeout with 2 seconds left down by 20.
He did that last week.
I'm about to say, it doesn't surprise me.
He called timeout with 2 seconds left, and McClendon went 65 for a score.
See? That doesn't surprise me at all. At all.
But Jackson's going to be in the victory formation, and they will take the knee, and Coach Garcia takes the timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Alliance has 4th and 12 from the 37 with 2:40 left in the game. From the Alliance 37, 2:40 left in that game.
Look, Scott called timeout.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, there it is. On cue. Once again, thanks for everyone for joining us tonight. I am Ryan Keller. This is Antonio Hall. And thanks for everyone who listened on the Q92 YouTube channel. And for everyone who was watching on the TikTok Live. This is our 2nd week doing the TikTok Live. So if you've enjoyed it, if you like the booth cam, comment, let us know. And we'll see if we can continue. If we continue doing these. I kind of like it. It's cool. It's another way for people to get the games on Q92 Sports.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. You guys enjoy. If you want us to keep doing this, let us know. Give us a like, give us a follow, share, all the good things. We appreciate you watching. All right. 2nd and 11. And they take the snap and they hand it off to Jacobs over the right-hand side. He's going to run out of bounds and stop the clock. I mean, I guess Jackson's like, if you're going to call timeout, then we're just going to, we're just going to run plays.
Right.
No use us taking a knee. So 3rd down and 8 for Jackson. Clock stops at 1:05 left. They're at the 45-yard line of their own 45. Well, I don't know if you picked that up on the crowd. You know what? It might be stupid. It's calling a timeout.
Right.
Trailing by 11.
Sorry.
So here we go. Mulliman in the shotgun. And he's going to hand it off again to Jacobs. This time he's going to bend it out over the left-hand side across midfield, still trying to get outside. And he will drop down and keep the clock running, but picks up the 1st down. No, they're going to say 4th down. What are they doing? Is it? I don't think the officials know. It is. It's going to be 4th and 1. 50 seconds left in the game. I mean, if I'm Jackson, I'm just going to pick up the 1st down here.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how many timeouts he has left. The game's over.
Right. But if I'm calling timeouts, now is when I call a timeout because I can get the ball back.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So Jackson's going to line up. 8 seconds left on the play clock. And they take the snap, turn, hand it off to Jacobs. He's going to try to get as far as he can to the sideline, and he will pick up the 1st down and more across the 40, 35, and then just slide down. And then a late hit coming in. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Glenoak.
Jacobs, the ball carrier.
With 17 seconds left, clock stops. And we'll wait to hear from the official. Dead ball, personal foul against Glenoak. I'm interested to see how this handshake will work at the end of the game.
Right.
So 1st and 10 at the 18 for the Polar Bears. 17 seconds left on the clock. Jackson leads 21-10. Does Jay Rohr throw a pass now?
Let's do it. It's just
So Mulliman goes under center. He doesn't even need to snap, but he takes the knee.
And that should be that.
Coach Garcia
unless he used his last time out.
All right, that is going to be the ball game. Jackson 21, Glenoak 10. We're going to step away and take a break. When we come back, we will talk a little bit about this game, and Coach is going to go down and get some photos, or excuse me, some interviews. This is high school final score. Jackson 21, Glenoak 10. It's high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Radiosports.com.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
And welcome back to Bob Cummings Field at Glenoak. Your final score, Jackson 21, Glenoak 10. Jackson will improve to 4-4 on the season. 3-1 in the Federal League. Glenoak goes to 1-7 on the year, 0-5 in the Federal League. They have now lost 11 straight league games and are 2-16 overall in the last 2 seasons. Jackson, coming in tonight, had won 8 of the last 9. They now have won 9 out of the last 10 and lead the all-time series 30 to 20-1. All right, let's. Green 27, Louisville 14. That's a final. West Branch 34, Alliance 28. That game is still underway. Canton South 31, Fairless 14, Northwest 13, Tuslaw 12, McKinley 24, Lake 21, Hoover 35, Perry 21, Maslin 45, Cornerstone from Texas 20, and Claymont 43, Sandy Valley 3. And tough night for Glenoak. The young quarterback just not able to have as much success as they did when they ran the Wildcat, but they stopped running the Wildcat for Glenoak. Jackson, not the explosive offense that we had seen last week, but they came in and still got the job done. Carter Mulliman doing what he needed to do, but Corey Jacobs kind of took over this game in the second half. I believe he had over 100 yards rushing, which would give him 600-yard games in a row, and coming over and filling in. Wasn't even the starting running back. Has filled in nicely and has done a good job for them. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook at Q92 Sports, Instagram, X, Threads. You can find us on TikTok at Q92 Radio and following us on YouTube as well. Want to thank all of our sponsors. Friends and Family Credit Union bringing us the timeouts. RG Drag for the Red Zone. And, of course, Sarshone Auto Group for helping us bring you high school football on Q92radiosports.com, part of our Score 7. Games we got lined up next week: McKinley at Jackson on Q92, Carrollton at West Branch on our sister station AM 1310 WDPN, and then on the Q92 YouTube channel, Minerva at Alliance, Hoover at Lake. That's where Coach Hall and I will be. Northwest at Fairless, Green at Perry, and Warren Harding at Massillon. You can catch all those games on the Q92 YouTube channel. I want to thank everyone for listening tonight. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy if you have Monday off, the extended holiday, and we will see you right back here next week on Q92 Sports. Make sure to follow us Facebook and all of our social medias. We'll have pictures, interviews posted up there tonight and tomorrow. Don't forget Mount Union Purple Raiders on AM 1310 WTPN. Kickoff at 1:30 from Wilmington as the Purple Raiders try to remain unbeaten on this season. Have a great evening, everybody. Stay safe, be kind, hug your loved ones. For my broadcast partner, Antonio Hall, I am Ryan Keller. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.